Hello.
Oh yeah, conflict. We're there.
Conflict.
So, hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Dragonborn Industries Starfinder podcast here on all of the channels that we can currently bring them out on. I don't really know how to finish that sentence. Hi, how are we doing? I'm great, thanks for asking. And how are you guys?
Yeah.
All good. Yeah.
Good. Thanks
Yeah.
for asking.
It's
Yeah, what we
fucking
chatting
freezing
about?
is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, just chatting shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As,
Chat shit.
as anyone does, I think.
Yeah. We're down Tamsin for now. She might be along in a little bit. We're also down at James tonight. So for anybody listening on the podcast, they're not here right now. They might be. James won't be here tonight, but Tamsin might be along in a little bit. Otherwise, hey everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. If you're here on Twitch, hey, how you doing? If you're here on YouTube, hey, how you doing? If you're here on the podcast, hey, how you doing? I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm just in one of those moods where I'm just like
really goofy mood.
in a goofy. I'm in a goofy mood, and
Stop it.
yeah. So, but hopefully everyone's here to have a good time and listen to some what I think is going to be the next step in the electoral debates.
Well, we thought that last episode.
Yes.
Oh my
I
God,
ended up
just
adopting a
direct.
child.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Just remember that.
Quite,
For fuck's
quite.
sake.
I did not forget that. I did not forget about
You
Wiley.
imprinted so
Yeah.
fast.
Well, lore-wise, it makes sense. I'm willing to go into it for 2 minutes if you.
I mean, actually,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, go
So,
on.
the way I put it, you know, his plumage changed because it's mating season on his home planet of Nehruun. Research.
How is he
Right,
chucky?
He is. He's broody as fuck. And
so
he saw
cute.
little Wiley and he thought, I gotta do it. I gotta
That's
do it.
mad.
That's fair play.
That's mad.
That's so cute. I
Yeah,
love
so if
that.
Wiley dies, everyone's getting turned into redness. Everybody. TPK.
Protect the child at all costs.
If anyone could do it, it probably will be Bruce.
Yeah, fully.
You do some fucking damage, boy.
I like the idea, and what I kind of saw is because obviously, like, first of all, outside of this is like GM Ian having played many games. We see parties adopting goblins all the time. It's such a trope. It's a massive, like, find a lone goblin, adopt the goblin. The problem is that goblins are fucking monsters. They are fucking creatures. And I know that, like, in like modern D&D, modern Pathfinder, modern Starfinder, stuff like that, we see them a bit more civilized. We see them, people like, you can play as them as a race. And, we see that with James, with Pez. And yeah, there's a reason like his parents aren't normally home. It's because they're fucking monsters. They're goblins. So I'm like, it's really
I've been
interesting.
goblin shit.
Yeah, they're not doing goblin shit. And so it's interesting for me that like with Wiley, it's going to be like, I'm going to obviously take on the role of playing a chaotic, neutral goblin child.
Yeah.
Now in the party. So we'll see how that goes.
Look forward to it.
But like, I think the future I envisioned for them is like I imagine Roos like just being like meditating on the ship one day, like trying to like find balance between the gravitational force of the universe and the photon forces, and then like Wiley eventually being like starting to take an interest. And what if we end up with this like Solarian goblin sidekick? I mean, granted, they're 2 years old. They are.
Babe.
They age quickly then.
They do. They reach maturity at 7.
Go
Okay,
on, you
go
got
on.
that.
So don't get me wrong. You've got a while.
Yeah.
But
Oh, fuck.
I also just think, that's, I wrote them a character sheet. I created the NPC. I will let you know now. They are a CR 1/3. They have 6 health.
Is that high? Is that high?
No.
No.
It's better than the
That's
core.
as low as it can go.
Okay.
They have 6 health and 3 resolve points.
My boys are gonna die.
I'm just letting you know.
Need to get
Quite
to safety.
Yeah. I think you need to get to safety, Olive.
Strength-wise, I'll give you the stats. -2 on strength, +3 on dex, +1 on con, 0s for intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Okay. You'll probably be sticking with me,
Cool.
I think.
Get him a papoose.
Yeah,
Yeah. A little bit
Little papoose.
You do what you need to do. So the character sheet has been made, and Wiley is now. Is he a member of the crew? Is he just a tag along? It's an interesting thing to think about, and it was definitely.
I didn't think about it, to be honest.
No, you didn't, and I didn't think about it either when I randomly came up with them there and then. But I quite like that happened. I like that you guys just like embraced the randomness of the NPC, and now all of a sudden it happened with John the Door Guy. Somebody that was made on the spot, and all of a sudden he's running for the Starfinder elections, and you've adopted a goblin.
Yeah,
it's that's what TTRPGs are all about, really. But I suppose suppose we'll start our announcements by throwing over to Steph.
So Ella, it's a short and sweet one this week. I was inspired by Jack's.
Yeah. Oh, and I've been told off.
I was inspired on Thursday by Jack's wonderful ad read, and it didn't get out of my head, so I had to do it. So
Just facts about Richard.
his name is Richard. He has a printer, printing quality 3D props, terrain figures, minis at Warrior Prints 3D.etsy. Use code to the stars and you're bound to go far at Warrior Prints. Warrior Prints 3D. Use code to the star to get 10% off at www.warriorprints3d.etsy.com. And thanks, Richard, for sponsoring the stream.
Very good.
That'll do. Yeah.
What's his name again?
His
And that name
is-
again?
His name is Richard.
He owns a printer. The greatest lyricist ever.
Yep.
Thank you to Warrior Prince 3D for supporting the show. I just realised how far off my camera is up here. It's on like to one side.
Yeah.
Thank you, Richard, for supporting the show as he always does. I got an awesome box off him today. More
Nice.
little bits and bobs.
I need to some order some bits from him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fun when I get a box and I'm like, oh, could this kill one of them? Oh. And there we go. Let's chat about our next spot. Jack, I'm going to throw over to you to talk
that's
about
not a good idea, mate.
Twitch,
I don't want the ball. I don't want
Twitch Prime subs.
Yeah, so if you have subscribed to Amazon Prime, that works also with Twitch, where you can subscribe to a channel completely for free, no additional charge, and it helps the channel out just that little bit extra, gives us a little bit of dosh. It just helps us grow a little bit more. So yeah, if you've got Amazon Prime, you get one free Twitch Prime sub every month, and why not, if you're here, do it now.
Yeah.
For us, so.
You can literally click on the subscribe, and then it says, like, you can click a little box that says subscribe at Prime. Not only does it help us out in terms of helping us grow, and also, you know, we get a little bit of a cut from that whenever Twitch decide to pay us out. There is a sub bit on Twitch that I saw today that says when you hit 30 Prime subbers, you unlock new emote slots. So we can then make new emotes, which is what I was doing today, ready to start doing like bits and other emotes for the future. So yeah, if we can get up to like 30 Prime subs, which, you know, if you're listening on the podcast and you don't really watch on Twitch, you're in a different time zone, and you don't already subscribe to somebody on Twitch, just head to twitch.tv/Dragonborn Industries, click subscribe, use that Prime sub, and you can renew every month. It's not an automatic thing. And while you've got Amazon Prime, it is free, like Jack says. So please, why not? Why not give us your Twitch sub? We would be greatly, greatly appreciative. Same with YouTube, although without the Amazon Prime feature. Not the same with YouTube. Their name is not Richard.
That is correct.
If you're on YouTube, again, just go and just hit the subscribe button. I think we're about the 800 now. We're trying to get to the 1,000 for the start of this year. That will massively help. When we get to that 1,000, I am going to do a giveaway for that Diggy Diggy Hole dice. It's a one-off. I won't be making another one. That is it. It'll be the only one that goes out into the world. So it'll be completely bespoke and completely unique. And we will do a comments giveaway on that one whenever we get to the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. YouTube. Also, you can use code Dragonborn10 when you go to rolandbladepress.com.
You're like, what's the domain?
3. I've now got that voice in my head. You can go to rolandbladepress.com, use code Dragonborn10, and you'll get 10% off your books at checkout. It's a nice little affiliate code that we have, so please go over there, check out their awesome toolkits, but also it just lets them know you've come from us, and letting companies know that you've come from us is a really big help, because then we get more companies wanting to do either affiliate spots or wanting to do sponsorship spots, and that's kind of what it's all about, really, when we come to trying to monetize the channel, and while keeping the podcast a free thing that we do so that you can listen to it for free, because I believe all podcasting should be free. It should be. I mean,
Preach, brother, preach.
I don't mind if people are like, we've got Patreon for extra content, or you can subscribe to like get rid of ads and stuff like that, but you should be able to listen to a podcast for free.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
You
charging
shouldn't be
people.
behind a paywall.
No, fucking right, it shouldn't be behind a paywall. Absolutely not. And we just want people to play this system and, you know, enjoy the story. So, you know, if you want to give us something in return, then that's cool. If not, it's not a problem. Just tell a friend. I've just gone on a right rant there.
Yep.
To which end, what's the other things? Merch! We've got merch in the merch store. Dice in the dice store. There, Alex is all over
look
that.
at it, yeah.
Dragonborn
You know what I
Industries.
did? I had, just in case you singled me out and asked me what it was.
Alex,
I
what don't you
took-
tell us about merch?
Oh, fuck.
His name's Ian.
He
So-
makes our dice thing.
If you head over to www.dragonbornindustries.com, you can find some excellent merch, such as a travel mug. Shit, that's full, sorry.
It's not a
custom
problem.
dice,
That's why it's here.
apparel,
Yes.
and yeah.
And Ian makes all the dice.
Yeah.
He does.
Very cool, very
You
nice.
see that?
Handmade.
There? Oh, my fucking...
No,
alright,
it's all right.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
Sexy.
They are
Yeah,
really cool. I actually, the next set of Starfinder dice for you guys are over there. I'm nearly there. It's taken so fucking long. But they're there. You guys will have some custom dice soon. We are going to be changing up the website soon as well. So the dice are all going to be staying on there, but I'm going to go into things like the core collection. I'm going to like bring it back down to a small amount of things. I'm going to readdress the Starfinder merch. I want to start bringing out some Bloodpunk merch, a little bit of Lightwell merch. So there is going to be things disappearing from the merch site soon. Obviously, we can't ship to Europe at the moment because we don't know what's happening, and I can't afford the tariffs of having somebody in a representative out there.
It's all a
And-
bit fucky at the minute.
yeah, and as for the US, I currently can ship to the US, but I don't know what's going to happen. So, you know, I'm terrified, as somebody said in the stream last night, and I was like, oh, crack stick. So yeah, go check out the merch store where you can before
So,
things.
yeah, if you want something, get it now.
I've just seen, please get an Eat My Nugs emote.
No.
Nug mug
No.
emote. Oh, I
dear.
want it. I want it so
no,
bad.
It's like even listening to the podcast back, just listening to it, it was distressing. Just a mug full of warm nugs. No,
So, but I was
hate
saying
it.
this earlier. I was like, I might think of like something else to put in there next
I've
year.
already
Like,
thought of something.
Yeah?
You'll love it. You'll fucking hate it.
let's keep it a surprise and let's like start like maybe
think
like a
you
lasagna
wouldn't approve
or
of that.
Okay,
a roast dinner, something
See,
like that.
So I have the neurodivergence where like I have to have the right spoon. So seeing like food in a mug, it's just like no, it doesn't live there.
But
no, really.
if I put bananas and custard in there or jelly,
I'd still be a no.
really?
It needs to be in a bowl.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I've had bananas and custard in one of these,
Yeah, I know this
Yeah.
is distressing.
Those things don't belong in a mug.
but it's kind of not. It's kind of an all-in-one. Keep it cold, keep it warm kit.
Future perfect.
It's future perfect.
future
The Dynatech Industries mug.
Jesus.
So yeah, do go check out the merch store before we change it all, because there might be something on there that disappears. There might not be. There might be new stuff, but just go check it out now while you still can. Apart from that, I don't think there's anything else we need to announce or chat about.
I don't think so.
Uh,
Go check out the other podcasts.
And
D&D
we are going to
intros,
be
maybe?
at Happy Piranha.
Yeah.
Why do I
Easter egg.
always forget
Every
this?
Yeah.
time. On the 15th and the 27th of February, we're doing intro D&D sessions.
Very soon.
Very soon.
Very,
So,
very.
if you'd
soon.
like to come play with
In a 1,
us.
a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 days.
A wild
Yes.
tam has appeared.
We have a wild Tamsin.
Hello.
You're over here tonight, Tamsin, because we're down at James. Player 4 has entered the game.
How do you got work?
What time are you on till?
The next 5 minutes and then I time out.
Oh, God.
I got Steph with that one.
Pay subscription.
Yeah. I think that's it. We're back at Happy Piranha on Saturday, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
To which then, let's jump into tonight's episode of Starfinder.
He's not here, so here's our chance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how.
He's already dead. Where did it reach?
Last time, the Orion's Hope crew left the electoral opening speeches and received a message from the stewards with a cryptic clue into the Dynatech investigations. The crew spent some time over a spoffy to work out the riddle from Dr. Grimm and find a connection to Dynatech Industries CEO at an orphanage called Lost but Still Loved. Here, the crew listened to Hildy about little Nim and his quiet childhood, a keen learner and a helpful tinkerer around the orphanage. But hear about a tragic accident that involved another child, a bully of Nim's, that tragically died while alone with him. The crew are told surveillance footage and reports all confirmed this to be an accident. But when they investigate the terminal in question, they find a fake shell, deadly countermeasures, and a clearly stolen security access card that allows them to gain root access and find out that Nim's quiet demeanor might not be all that. Advanced research into cybernetics, augmentations, medical research way beyond their years, as well as the truthful security footage of Nim using some kind of lightning magic or power to cruelly kill his Vesk bully. The last we left, Roos, our party Solarian, had taken on a ward in a young goblin named Wiley. And I imagine, as we now see you guys all leaving the orphanage, I hand over to you as Roos appears with their new ward. This young, maybe 2, they've got like little patches of slick, greasy black hair that stick to their face and head. They're wearing like scraps of clothing. They've got a few like metal bits on them where they're just like, and they're like trying to chew things. They're like still holding onto the top of Roos's head, or would you be holding his hand and walking him out?
I think he'd be on my shoulders, right?
Yeah, he's like chewing on like the top plumage feathers. Like,
Guys, I'm a little concerned about his safety. Do you think I should give him a gun?
If you're concerned about his safety, why the fuck did you adopt him?
I had to get him out of there.
Well, what do we do with him now?
I don't know. I'm out of my depth here. I'm not gonna lie.
Can't just release him onto Absalom.
Whatever happened was completely instinctive. But look at him.
you see this drooling goblin child. They've got these like bright red eyes that are really like deep, but you don't see like a pupil. It's like a solid red. They have these almost like translucent fang-like teeth that come down like an angler's teeth. Not an angler like a fisherman, but like an anglerfish.
Yeah.
Just because you're right there. I often go down there.
They spotted one recently, didn't they? The Black Devil came up from the pit of the deep seas and it floated up, and everyone was like, "It's an omen!" But it's probably just really sick.
Sounds like a cunning folk one shot has just reared its head.
No, because I'm scared of fish.
Let us never go to a port.
Can't go to an aquarium.
I want to
freak
encourage
you
people to
out.
bring.
Yeah.
Send us fishing. No, don't send us fishing for
Really
staff. Please don't. But you see, this goblin is just like they're borderline feral.
This is your responsibility, you know that.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I think it's your time, mate.
But he's also your responsibility. If anything happens to him,
Wait, what?
I did not consent to this.
there is no consent in my books. If anything happens to him, you're all going down. And
Okay.
you might say that with like a bit of a frill.
Oh.
Bit of Dick House going
Oh,
on.
okay,
Yeah.
I see. Well,
Maybe
like,
he's losing a bit of control.
if it doesn't take much effort for me to help him out, then I'll do it. But
Yeah, the boy, Cass.
I
knew I'd count on you. Here you go.
I'm not.
gonna-
Whoa.
Do you put him on?
We're not there
No,
yet,
no,
buddy. We're not there yet. We only just fucking walked out of the place. Just
God.
okay.
He's like kicking in like Roos's arms. It's like he thinks that like you're handing him over and you're done with him, and he's like.
Tell you what, I'm gonna take him out for a little fly around.
Okay.
You
Well,
guys.
we're probably gonna head back to the.
That is advisable.
As long as
bird.
he's with him, it's fine.
Yeah, what if he falls off you?
He won't fall. Will you, buddy?
All for the better.
I don't think he's thought about this.
No, you think?
How much do you value your ship?
Quite a bit.
I think this ship will be fine.
Maybe.
He says with gritted teeth.
Maybe we don't leave him unsupervised on the ship.
How about
Maybe.
you leave him in the airlock? So if you guys really aren't comfortable,
Well,
I was thinking more about like
That-
for the time being, perhaps the Lorespire has a daycare,
sure.
I
Alright,
mean,
let's
isn't
check
that
it.
like a
kind
soft
of-
play.
Yeah. Well,
I think he needs a hard play.
do we need a babysitter for the ship? Is that-
Dave.
Maybe.
Dave is
Dave.
not a
I
babysitter.
think he'll eat
Not yet.
Dave.
I mean, the ship needs modifying anyway. Maybe we
Yes.
can perhaps set up some sort of small room for him. Or...
That's true. We can maybe set him up a little nursery in there, and we do still have Steve, the AI, tucked away in on floppy disk. Maybe we could make a nanny droid.
They have to
Steve
exist,
has
right?
no choice.
See, this is the input I'm looking for. Guys.
Yeah,
I want to
is
share
this
this responsibility.
parenting?
As little stuff as I have to do, the better.
Well, he is
That's
little,
what I'm
so
saying.
you don't have too much.
I assume this is all happening on the way back
Yeah.
to the Lorespire
Yeah.
Complex. And it is, late afternoon, early evening now. You've obviously collected this information. What are you doing with it?
Heavy stuff, eh?
I don't think it's going to ride well in the debates, is it?
No. I don't know if it's something to bring out in the debates.
I mean, no one knows this. No, and we know that no one's gone to see where Nymbus was brought up.
Mm,
So what information is it really going to hold?
exactly.
It's,
In the grand scheme of things, it's just conjecture, isn't it? We could bring anything. It's not going to directly affect Xano.
no. I mean, they've been playing dirty, as we know.
Indeed.
Why don't we play dirty back as well?
What are you thinking?
Well, I mean,
Walk in their shoes?
we can use the same tactics. We can maybe even hijack those speakers and use it for ourselves, and that way we have a level playing field.
That's quite clever. I like that. And,
I don't know. I need to think some more on it, but you know.
Like for like.
To show Nimbus killing a fellow child.
No. We never said
I'm not
that.
sure about that.
No. I don't think we should.
I think that's a
broach
bad
that.
idea.
I think we've said we're not going to bring this up at the elections. I think this is something for the back burner. This is something for the larger
Yes.
scheme of things.
I'm curious what your interest in Nimbus is.
Are you curious? We're a man who's barely been seen and seems to be ageless.
It has been a wonder of mine, but I've never really particularly thought about it.
This is all coming down to Dynatech, and Nimbus is the head of it all, started it all. No one knows what he really looks like now. Well, people know what he looks like, but
No one's
people
seen
don't
him.
know him and what he's actually doing and what his purpose is. And as far as we have looked into, they have been harbouring, well, essentially two races, so two species, under pact, against the pact, basically. Hostoki, for instance. You can clearly see TJ here is
Hello.
very much alive and conscious and personable, and
Now I'm off the beta blockers, doing better than ever.
You're certainly a lot more sent in than the salesperson led to me to believe.
Yes,
so
because we've all been drugged up for years.
yes.
interesting.
And then there's the whole deal with Calyx, which yes.
Our Decimar friend.
I did see you on TV, so
He's a lovely boy.
Very well known for producing wonderful silk. Wonderful silk.
I have
Silk
you,
bird, love
Oh, God's got to lead into it now. But they were doing it very inhumanely and cloning.
In a way that threatened the pact. And if the head of Dynatech is leading this charge, surely we should know everything about that person to be able to either stop him or find a way to quell the cracks that are forming. And this is why, dear lady, we have been petitioning those influencers to try and avoid Xano, simply because Dynatech is a rotten corporation. Not all of it. I will, hashtag not all Dynatech, but a significant proportion of the higher tier threatens our very way of being. It threatens the very civilization which has been built and hard fought for. And yes, the Starfinders may need change, but if that change leads to ruin, what's the point?
We don't care who gets in, as long as it's not Xana.
I see. Interesting. I will stay out of the Arcanum for the next day or so. I will say that Lynch does have a habit of probing minds.
Oh, that's what that was then.
It's a fun little game of hers.
I
Yes.
got a little bit of a
Sure.
fondle of my cortex.
The cortex fondle. Cortex fondle.
A little cortex fumbles.
Just a cheap little tickle.
This is what we like to call it in the Arcanum.
Just a little fondle of the frontal lobe.
That should be the name of the spell. I would like to cast cortex fondle.
Hey, Paizo. Jack would like to call Mind Probe Cortex Fondle.
It's got more of a ring to it, you know?
It does. It's more visceral, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Your
Yeah.
fingers are right in there.
Just-
Bruce is like, I can't imagine how that feels. Meanwhile, a goblin is shivering in his scalp. Just like mulching it.
And he's like, yeah, so it's like the feather's being used to like clean between the teeth. You can see he's like a dog pulling on grass. They're like, it's going like between the teeth.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of us
You
now.
really did that.
Maybe he can be a Starfinder one day. Who knows?
Yep, maybe. I think we're gonna need to. Pez is gonna need to
Captain
stick with
Wiley.
you.
How about that, kid? Captain Wiley.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'll settle for Private Wiley. I'll be fine.
Mechanic would be a good. There we go. He seems to like metal.
You like mechanics, boy?
I don't want to know anywhere near our ship mechanics.
Pez, what did he say?
He said, I fix.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Maybe he can be on the ship. Maybe he can look after the
He
ship.
can be on the ship, but I'm
Well, obviously a bit of training.
Look, I'm just saying,
Toilet training.
I'm worried about our ship mechanics.
I think he
under
and
his
Pez is like
control.
lifting up like his VR visor and he's like flying bear around. He's like, I think he's not. I mean, he's still quite young. His
Yes.
fix might mean take apart.
Yeah. I'm very aware of that, Bez.
Maybe we get him some splegos and
Splegos?
practice with.
For fuck's sake. Oh. That was just that was a left hook. That was.
Yeah, sure.
Legos. Yeah.
Get him practicing and you know.
Where would they sell Splegos in town? In the
the
station?
the Splego shop.
John Spluis.
John Don Splewis. He's a nepo baby.
He's not a nepo baby. John is not a nepo baby.
Well, all right, kid. How about we get you some Splegos? How about that? He wants to dig a hole, huh? Look, kid, I was just getting out here to pay you.
Tell Jabber I've got his money. God, that's greedo.
I don't do that.
Oh, you know, you said it. Imagine being that kind of DM where you're just like, no, you said it.
You
Yeah.
committed.
Yeah, no. So, are you guys heading back? Lorespire Complex,
Yes.
nothing else, just like straight up, let's go there.
I think I probably would leave the group. I will be honest. So yes, as I said, Lynch will read minds, and at some point she will probably give my mind a little fondle, as you say, and she may end up knowing of this. I don't know what she will do with the information.
I mean, do we care? I mean,
She's a bit scary.
no, but I mean, the information we've given is true.
It's true. Yes, it
Like,
is true.
we haven't lied about anything. And if Lynch wants to do her own research, then we can go for it.
I feel though that having met that,
Yes.
that perhaps
Like I
she
said,
wouldn't do quite what we would do with that information, and that
No.
if it were to get out without our control of it, I think it's risky. It's
This is
risky.
why I'm giving you a heads up that it may happen.
Thank you, appreciate that.
And like I say, I may stay out of the Arcanum for a day or so. I have a little hobby I'd like to indulge in at the moment anyway.
What is your hobby?
Meth.
Space bit. Spiff.
Well,
Smith.
We love it.
You slag.
Okay, no.
okay.
God, I have a child here.
He'll learn.
Love it.
Stocks and trades.
Oh.
Okay.
It is why I have taken a little interest in your group.
I see.
So
Is that because stocks in Dynatech might fall?
It's always fun betting against the market.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Fair enough.
I will leave you
That's it.
for now, and I will see you tomorrow
Okay.
Yes, see you in the pod.
Stay safe.
in the pod. Thank you. You too?
I mean that genuinely. I'm not saying I'm not being like.
Is it something I have to watch out being around you lot?
I mean, probably.
Well,
Not that we mean to. It just sort of trouble seems to find us.
yes.
I'll keep an eye out. A pleasure.
I'm sure you're more than capable. But,
Just a bit.
See you tomorrow.
yes.
Trust no one.
Paranoia!
Well,
Yep. Is the debate this evening? Or is it tomorrow morning?
So it'd be tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah.
pub.
Pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably think of some questions.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of things do you want to ask as
Well,
we
I'm
make our way?
obviously going to be a little bit Hostoki focused.
Of course.
And I've got a few questions for a few candidates, but I mean, I think it's a perfect platform to get a personal interest, seeing that we are all Starfinders now. And
I think child welfare is suddenly on my mind. It wasn't there before.
no, it is. This is fascinating. This is truly fascinating, Bruce.
Yeah.
This is a different side to you I've not seen before.
Yeah. And he won't have that much to offer. He's like literally living it as you are.
Yeah, fair.
Wow.
I must admit that I'm a bit short of questions, only because any questions that I might be interested in is not something that will even possibly have been mentioned before.
Well,
And, I'm not really sure what direction to take with it.
there's I mean, you could always ask questions like, what's your stance on uniform? Where do you stand on, I don't know, coup d'etats? What are we going to do about unisex toilets? You can do little things.
So give me a culture check. 'Cause I'm gonna. This is kind of like a.
All of us.
Yeah, you can do actually because.
No. 6.
6. But the thing is, yeah, definitely give me the numbers when you roll them because sometimes a no could be a 19.
Yeah, okay. Natural 1 for a 6.
Yeah.
21.
21. 4.
I'm not here.
All right.
I can if you want.
Do it anyway because I want to kind of give it you above table.
Which one was it? Culture.
Yes.
14.
14. Okay, so realistically, it's the role of First Seeker. This is what this debate is all about. First Seeker determines the directive of the Starfinder Society. They give them a main mission. So that main mission could be something like, okay, I'm personally interested in this archaeological thing, therefore the main focus of the Starfinder Society will be this. You can still go off and do your own missions and stuff, but if you want missions given to you by the Starfinders, it's going to be focused in a direction towards that. So you've got to think about what the focus of each individual candidate would be. And they will probably have a mandate that they will talk about, but if you're going to think of questions and you want to start somewhere, start with what is your mission for First Seeker and what do you hope to gain from that? Those kind of things. Because it's all well and good, you guys are coming in from the point of being like, we need to stop Xano from being Dynatech, but the rest of the Starfinder Society, it's kind of like dangling a carrot. If their interests align with the person that they see as the most aligned First Seeker, they're going to vote for them. So somebody's like, Captain Solias, for example, he's subaquatic, he likes looking for ancient civilizations underwater. You've listened to his Infosphere cast. So if there's other people who are interested in, or like species that are interested in underwater archaeology or adventuring, they're going to side with him probably just out of common interest. Whereas people like Luarti's previous mission was to try and generate funds for the Starfinder Society. The Starfinder Society generates money by taking things like the star maps that you make as you go out exploring and the data, and they sell that. They also take certain artifacts and they will also sell those on, but they also keep certain artifacts hidden away as these are too fucking dangerous to be out on the market, let's fucking hide those away. So yeah, exactly. So it's think about things like that, and this is where, like, I know you guys have been thinking about questions in your own time away from the table, but bear in mind the rest of the society could be like, well, they're offering us money. Fucking right. Or this one could be like, oh, I'm really into Dragonkin culture, therefore I really want to do what, it depends on the mandates. Yeah. So that's something to think about.
Just to bring up, I think we've got a frozen camera.
Oh yes, we do.
That's all right. We can sort that one out. It is that one up there.
What
Oh,
a
shit, I did.
sexy look.
With thinking. Oh, thinking.
Oh,
We're back.
Oh,
Thinking face.
There you go.
It's not blood punk, for God's sake.
It was only a little one. Just the tip.
That's what they all say.
Just a quick click.
God.
Actually, goodness great.
But once you start,
Good.
Delicious.
Delish. Just going to sort out my centering on here. So there are things to think about.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we won't be the only people with questions. But if we have something that we want
Yeah.
brought up, it seems like the platform.
I think
to do
the
it.
main one I've been hearing is that Xano has promised funding
Yes.
for many people's projects.
Mm,
What if we can get someone else to say that they'll fund them as well?
yeah,
So it's at least give people another option.
yeah.
You
Don't
know,
have to rely on.
Yeah. Yes, you might get money from this person, but this person's going to do it too.
Just can do.
I mean, what
I
about
dunno.
John? I mean, his custodial skills are through the roof.
That,
Holding the door like that.
that is very true.
No one does it like
man
John.
knows how to hold a
Yeah,
door.
no, he's a good man.
And as you have these conversations, just finding somewhere to chill out for the evening, and just I imagine you're going to like a bar, maybe the same one as before. Tricky Pete's not in. Still tired. It's probably a. It is actually a. A Lashunta, male,
Ooh.
quite young, maybe in their 20s. More hipster. More hipster.
Hipster twink.
Very handsome, and they have very dark hair, and they've got these gentle antennae that go up to small blue lights. They have a bit of a side sweep going on with the top, but it's quite voluminous. They're wearing a loose white blouse with a grey waistcoat in it. It's got these like way lines or like ley lines in it that have these yellow pulsating energies that move through it. They do have a Starfinder badge on, and they're like polishing the glass. They have a little badge that says Aedeon, Aedeon. Hey guys,
Good evening.
evening. Can I get you guys a drink? Really handsome.
God, you're gorgeous. I mean, drinks, please.
Smiles. It's like, comes with being a Lashunta.
Oh, this explains so much about Soulfire.
Yes.
Oh, you like Soulfire?
Oh,
We've got
Christ.
beef. I'm not gonna lie. We've got beef.
What's beef?
Like, you know, like a little bit of back and forth, and we just fucking hate each other, man. I'm gonna lay it on the line.
Oh no, but she's awesome. She's so cool.
She was so mean to me when we first met, and then we just haven't moved past it.
What did you do to upset her?
Literally, I just walked up and said hello, and she like.
But did you like invade her personal space? She gets a lot of
bro,
that.
She was on one side of the desk, I was on the other, and she was like, "You're
Oh,
outfit's
you're the
tacky."
Hostoki in the jumpsuit.
That's me, dude.
Oh.
And I just let
What can I get? What can I get you?
Conflict.
Oh, can I sense motive?
Yeah.
Please.
oh, he's going to understand you.
Yeah. Okay. 12, 13, 16, 18. It's low for me.
They're not hiding it. They're a bit like, oh, okay. Ooh.
Listen, I'm ready to bury the hatchet. Okay, like straight up, I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, 'cause she's lovely. She's like one of the nicest people ever.
I kind of want to see that. You know, I want to get to know the real Soulfire. You get me? And I just think that, you know, the pressures of social media these days, it makes it hard to form real, genuine relationships.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you were really rude to her from what it sounds like. And I just, you know, we've all seen it. And I'm glad that you're willing to, like, apologise maybe. And
Let's go somewhere else.
I think Reese or Matt Smith like brick, and then while ago wanker.
Wiley doesn't learn common. But it's just like, you get aggressive and they're like,
That's all he ever uses. He's great. He's a good kid.
I don't know what
that's
to do with
a
this.
child.
situation.
You can't have children in here.
Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Have a good night.
Not very good at your job since we got to the bar, eh? He does sassily.
All right.
Well, fuck. Find a different bar.
Yeah, different bar.
Fuck that
We
guy.
can hand wave and say you find another bar and
That
just.
lets children in, but not at the bar. Just like
We need a drink and there's less children then.
Oh my god, you need like one of the ones which have like the children's playpen
Yeah,
exactly.
inside the pub.
You need a beef eater. Alright, yeah.
Yeah,
we've gone
we used to have a playpen.
Spable.
Spable.
What are the sprit breads systems? Yeah, so I think you easily find somewhere else, and it probably won't be in the Lorespire Complex, just somewhere out and about, and you can get some drinks. And do you want to RP the night away, or are you just you tell me what you want to do, because at this point we're in your time.
Well, so Roos is a father now. That happened.
That's a thing.
Kaz, how are you feeling about tomorrow evening?
I tried not to think about it, if I'm honest, and now you reminded me. Thanks.
I'm sorry, but
I don't know. I think just trying to get through this debate first.
okay, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have no idea how it's going to pan out.
How it does, we've got.
Thank you. But it could go either way. I really don't know. So,
Sure.
and I've got no other information other than I know what ship they're coming in on and when.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
Hmm.
Well,
It's going to be interesting.
bit of a period of change, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Roos.
You can't get used to that, buddy.
Yeah.
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 It's like crooks.
So you're gonna go back to the Lorespire with this child?
Oh, he's coming with us. I mean,
Sure. Might be able to fix the AI. Fix the AI in your room, though.
hey,
Maybe
if
he's
you and
useful.
Pez were to, teach him, and I could teach
I
him.
don't think I need to do anything.
Just let him loose on a panel.
Yeah. Have a little play with that.
Great
Then
stuff.
it's sorted.
Cool.
Hopefully, sort the fucking shit out. Because I'm sick of Sid. I'm telling you, I'm done. When we get out of this shit, Sid is going to be gone. I'm telling you now.
I'm
So I've
sure,
said it before, I said it again. If you need a place to crash, doors open.
sure Wiley will take care of it.
Hopefully, at least in our room, that'll be fine. But I mean, on a more permanent basis.
Yeah.
After we're all done, I'm going to make sure.
Don't encourage the kids.
Maybe that's a question to ask at the election. What will you do to get rid of the Sid AIs in the Lorespire complex?
That's true. You know what? I might.
There you go. You've got your platform.
If I'm annoyed and other people are annoyed, then I mean, sure we can find some common ground.
Exactly.
It's
It's
quality of life improvement.
the
Exactly.
real problem for the
Yeah.
man on the ground.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So you probably find a bar called Mr. K's Kitchen.
Mr. K's kitchen. Okay.
It is run by.
Mr.
Okay.
Well, we're about to find out because I'm using the roll and play press system.
Is it K as in K-A-Y or just K?
Just K.
Okay.
Just innocent.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. K kitchen.
It's run by a glitching hologram.
Oh.
Okay.
And let's look at the regular entertainment.
I've just put Adian prick.
Yeah.
That's all we need to know about him.
Handsome prick.
Yeah.
It's an electric
Nah, no, it
cabaret
doesn't deserve
lineup that changes every night but always features quality acts. It's like a dance show that kind of goes on in there.
A child to cabaret.
But it's not quite that risky. It's like a kind of like a fun tongue-in-cheek play on that, and there are probably like other families in there. That's probably why you've gone, because other people have got children there, and they're sort of like, you walk in with a goblin and people
Probably
move.
so out of place.
Everything is sticky.
Everything is sticky, and you sit down and you're having this conversation, and can you just give me a perception check?
Just Bruce?
Just Bruce.
Just
Eh.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nat 20 for a
Boy.
28.
Okay, you see Wiley is in somebody's pocket trying to take things out of them. Like a stranger that you don't know.
Not my fault this is happening.
Okay, then carry
Oh,
on.
what's happening? Well,
Nothing.
cool.
Just the kids learning is.
All right.
Yeah, you gotta grow up somehow, right?
And he's like, he's
Yeah.
snuck away from the table and is now like in somebody's pocket and they're going to pull something out.
He's got his uses.
Is this... I'm very new to the whole,
You've killed the person. You've killed several.
I've actually never killed anyone.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you not?
No, I've killed. I think I've helped kill a creature, but I don't think I've killed.
But you
anything
facilitated
sentient.
the ending of one's life.
That's one way to put it, Bruce. I'll tell you that.
Bruce, have you ever thought about going into PR? You'd be
no,
great
I have
at
not.
spin.
You say you've never killed anyone, but
When you think about it, when you really think about it.
I am well aware that I've become a bit of a mouthpiece for the Hostoki, and therefore I am coming into this with clean hands.
okay,
I have to.
it's very curious. I've never noticed that before.
Well, there you go.
Well,
It's
think
one
we
of
were
the
too
reasons
busy.
that I
You
ended
s-
all the Dragonborn Dragons.
See him pull out some kind of wiring or some kind of electronic part from this person's, and it's probably like a map pocket or something, like a big bit that they're keeping items in, and they then slink off again around the room.
I think at this point I'd be like, "Hey, Wiley, come back here. Come on, I'll take his hand." Oh, what you got there?
He's picked up 3 UPBs.
Sweet. Why don't I take care of that?
Fair play.
Pocket money.
He doesn't want to hand them over.
Well, you keep them for now. Just get on my shoulders.
And then looks around and sees the food and is like, ma.
Yeah, and I'll just give him a handful. I'll pay for that.
Just on somebody's
Someone
plate.
else's table.
There's a human family like, ah! Quentin, let's get out of here. And they take their little child and they go.
And just the food down the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What, like a bird?
Well, they're quite lipless.
Just a child.
There's no keeping it in. It's a mess. It's like,
Oh, if we meant like me feeding him.
No,
Okay.
so all this food is falling down your plumage
Hungry
and stuff.
feller.
Fascinating.
He may throw up.
Oh,
Well,
let's please never see
Maybe
that.
we
they got
should,
staff around here for that kind of thing.
maybe we should pay and leave very quickly.
No. I want to sit down. I'm tired.
Okay, alright.
I almost had a long day. I deserve a little R&R.
He like has his food and then he like climbs down. He like nuzzles into your arms and we'll go to sleep for a little bit.
Oh no, that's
That's
cute.
cute.
That's dead cute. I get it now.
Maybe,
I get it.
maybe it's
Yeah.
working out.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I take the UPBs off him?
You can make a sleight of hand check. He's clutching them.
Put something in its place.
Yeah, I'll put like a
pistol.
coaster. Sleight hand.
He's gonna be so heartbroken when he wakes up.
Yeah.
So 13.
They will get a -10 to this perception check. It's low. Yeah, you're fine. You can
Okay.
take 3 UPs.
Safekeeping. If he's curious, I'll give it back to him.
Okay,
If
Yeah.
he doesn't ask again, I won't mention it.
fair enough.
You can add 3 UPPs to your character sheet.
Sweet.
What are you guys doing? It's noisy in here. It's sticky.
Yeah,
Yeah. Home.
yeah. I'm just trying to think. Do we want to hack those speakers?
Is it worth? I mean, I think they're on to us that we got in the first place. Is it worth the risk, or do we just want to? I mean, we've put it out there that that's what was happening, and I think having maybe because it's not against the rules we found out, which is,
Yeah.
but it's maybe something that we could bring up and say, how can we trust you if you're, already starting on a basis of deceit and
Lies.
half truths?
Yeah.
And to do so ourselves might be a little bit hypocritical.
How do we sort of prove that it is them?
Well, Pez got the IP and everything. We've got all the imaging.
We've uploaded
was-
it to the infosphere. We've info dumped. It's actually doing the traction on it's quite good. Actually, we're getting a lot of feed showing that people are. There's a lot of people saying it's not illegal, but there's also people like, well, it's clearly wrong though. So it's actually. I think uploading it there has been and spamming it has been actually really beneficial. So that could help us.
Okay. Let's go with that front then. Okay.
I think keeping it'd be very easy, and knowing the Dynatech style, having fed into that machine myself at one point, it is to spin, and if they can bring anything negative against us in retaliation, I think they will. So the cleaner we can play a game, the better.
Okay. I'm with that one.
So no fingernails, cows.
Fingernails.
No, it doesn't matter.
The past is behind me, okay?
Good, good.
I think. The time may come when I have to do some things again, but
Hopefully not.
hopefully not.
No. Anyway.
Anyway.
Can we get out of this
Yes,
sticky,
let's
sticky
please.
restaurant?
I feel dirty.
The kid's just running past the table.
Whoa, whoa, that was huge!
Like a desk and a Kasathan child, and then one that looks like a giant slug that's going a lot slower behind them.
Oh! Do they all come out that big? Good grief!
This slug's eye is like just trained on you. Hi, mister.
Hello!
Thanks.
Ah, little boy, girl, child, hello.
Mom! And then moves off again.
You mean, oh, you've got one now.
Oh. That's why I have a right to say it.
Oh my god, Roos has become a yummy mummy. Oh no. Let's start doing like hot yoga and going to brunch.
That's part of his Solarian thing. Hot yoga's like out underneath like the rays of a sun.
Yeah.
With the gals.
Maybe at this point I'm just like, as you two are like, just
Yeah, let's get him home.
And I think because like
Definitely need a papoose.
yeah, because they've settled, now you settle.
yeah.
You sleep when the baby sleeps.
What are we doing?
What
is this?
Welcome to the sci-fi D&D show,
That's what you tuned in for.
where we're figuring out how to be parent. Let's go back to
Yeah, the law.
the Lorespire and get some shut eye.
And you're going off to
I would probably go back to my own ship. I wouldn't mind actually if I know anyone. Just be like if I would know anyone in the Arcanum who may be of an older age who may know of Nymbus. As I say, I'm trying to specifically keep out of the Arcanum, but if I'm like, just send someone a message and be like, hey, do you want to catch up over a drink kind of thing?
I think you can roll a culture check or a diplomacy check. A lot of people know who Nymbus Dyns is. They are the CEO of Dynatech Industries. That's quite common knowledge. Dynatech deals more with obviously augmentation, cybernetics, and repair work is where they first started. But yes, they do deal with things on the mystic arts, but it's more arcanists that work for the company that tend to work with the Arcana Miriam or do research there. I don't think you find anyone that's like specifically like, oh yeah, no, me and Nim used to hang out. There's nobody like that.
Just to suck
I was
each other
wondering
off.
like if anyone had met him or if anyone was old enough to like know the history of the company.
You know, it's just friends, just bros being bros. Man.
Wow.
Good guys being dudes.
Just don't play a dudes. Just help a brother out. You go first, I'll go after. But there's nobody really there
That was the bad thing.
Natural. Love is love.
Fucking hell.
you know, bros got needs.
What's a quick PJ between bros?
There's nobody there for Sylph that I think.
There's nobody there for Sylph.
That's why she's on the ship by herself.
Oh, fuck.
I don't think anybody knows that information.
Yeah, that's fair.
So sorry. You go back to your rooms. Are you just roll fast forward to the next morning?
Do you want? I'll just let Wiley go.
Yeah. So you
In
enter
the
the room.
room.
It's like, oh hey guys, how you doing? Oh guys, hey you guys, how you doing? And
I'll keep an eye on. Yeah.
And like the voice comes out and speaks, and they're like, bah. And it's like every time they go to do something, it says like, hey, what you doing over there? And they jump, and they like they're being watched, and they don't know where it's coming from, and they'll like run back to your leg, and they'll hide behind it, and they've got these long fingernails as well, and they'll like dig them into your like leg when they're scared.
Wow.
But they spend the majority of the night trying to get acclimatized to the place. Sid, you know, the perfect AI. Hey, Kaz.
Yep,
I've noticed you need a shower.
I do.
You want to take a shower?
Not with you around. Fucking no.
What you as well? I can help. I can stand guard for you.
You're disturbing, okay?
I'm just a machine,
I like
Cass.
to have peace.
I'm
when I
just
shower.
a sentient machine with needs. What's this shower between brothers? Come on, get in the shower.
Come on, be game.
Wow.
Come on, be game.
Filthy.
I'm gonna stay dirty, Bruce.
Yeah, you're gonna stay dirty.
Oh god.
You're gonna stay
This ain't
dirty.
happening, I'll tell you that. It's just not happening.
Okay.
Anyway. I've got no words for you, Sid.
I got words for you.
God, you're a piece of shit.
That hurt my feelings.
Can we fast forward yet?
Yeah, we can dispense with the
my God.
fucking computer.
So
I fucking
glad I'm
hate
not
him
in that
now.
room.
Oh, yes.
Please actually dispense the computer.
I mean, in the morning when the Whitey's had some fucking sleep, rip that shit out of the wall.
Yeah?
Yep.
Pez, so I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to go home.
Okay.
See you later, mate.
See you later. Come on, Bear.
Oh, what a sad little life, Pez.
And they head off home. Next morning, you guys can mark a long rest if you need to. You need to get any resolve points back, any skills, any
Do it anyway.
bits and bobs. It's always worth doing just to be safe, because obviously, again, there's hit points as well. If you lost any before, you already get your level back, kind of thing. And the next morning, you are not woken up by Sid.
I don't want to say anything, just in case. You alright, Bruce? You good?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh God. I had this terrible dream. I adopted a kid.
No.
Yeah, I'm fine.
There's like a heavy pressure on your chest as you open your eyes, and there's like a goblinoid just in your face staring at you.
Alright.
I'm afraid it's all too real, buddy.
Is he asleep or is
No,
he?
he's awake. He's been awake probably for hours just watching you.
Oh, well, that's
You
very
making
good.
sure
Okay.
Dad is safe? Well, I'm pretty safe now, kid. You can get off me, and I'll lead up. I'm good, Kaz.
Cool.
Wake me up earlier if you ever see that again.
I was asleep, man. I didn't know. Anyway,
Shower, dude.
like I told you, I'm sorry. It's gonna have to wait until this book is gone. I'm assuming Sid still said nothing. Has he ever been this quiet?
No. What do you say to him?
I usually don't. if I can help it.
Sid, you there?
Oh, Christ.
Hey, Bruce.
Okay.
Oh.
We're out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I've been better.
You want to talk about it?
What's the point?
You're not making me feel bad. This is not happening. Not happening whatsoever.
He never listens.
I'll put the last piece of my armour on. So I'll see you out there, yeah?
Fine, don't say bye to me then.
Close the door.
Doesn't remember your birthday or anything.
I was leaning against the corridor.
He's got issues, but I love him.
Kaz is Kaz, and you're a sentient machine, and you should know your place. And I'm just gonna walk away.
You guys can reconvene
That's my boy.
downstairs.
Kaz, and
Yeah, what
Tia's
up?
coming with coffee. Kaz, for
Yeah.
the love of the gods, please, Linda's gone to work. Go have a fucking shower. There's the
In
key
your room,
card.
please. Yes.
Go on.
Thank you, Jesus.
Kaz has got shit up his face.
Yeah.
Sleeps hard. He shits himself. Canon.
I'll have a little wash down in TJ's room
Cool, it's fine.
and just fucking cleanse myself.
You know that today the debates
Yeah.
start. I mean, every room, by the way, just so you're aware. Just saying, you could have done this back at home. Had to go out to your friend's house.
Program this.
Why are we role playing this one out?
I don't know.
It's a dysfunctional relationship. It's so one-sided it hurts. Oh Christ!
When will I see you?
You going out again?
I just totally pictured Sid watching you have a shower and, like, you know, the little disc driver.
You know that the debates are going to be happening in the next sort of hour or so. Obviously, whenever you decide to get yourself to the Hall of Resplendence, Hall of Infinite Resplendence, I went straight to High Rollers.
Wow.
Went back to Erebus there.
Jesus.
The Halls of Exchange.
That's the one.
For hour one. Wow, that was a blast
That was a
from...
crossover, wasn't it?
That was a... Yeah, there you go. Tell what I've been watching all week. You can head over to the Halls of Exchange, which is where obviously the debates have been taking place. You've seen the opening addresses there, and you know that Starfinders are going to be starting to make their way over there to get to their pods. There's thousands of you that are going to be there in witness of this and to ask questions and stuff. And it's up to you really when you want to head on over. And then, you know, unless there's anything else in the morning you want to do.
Is there a bit of like a congregation of people before everyone goes into the debate
Yes.
room?
So there are a few places where people would really congregate. One is in the main atrium of the Lorespire itself. Obviously, you have this amazing fountain. You've got this statue of Durivor Creel, this dwarf that is somewhat of a martyr for the Starfinder Society, and the statue's relatively new within the past sort of year. There is a place outside on the campus where there is probably like a few seating areas or like a few sporting areas where people can like practice things like anything from martial arts to shooting ranges, stuff like that, where it's nice and safe, and it's, you know, it's essentially like a uni campus but more adventurer based. And then outside of the Halls of Exchange, there is also this big communal courtyard where crews tend to meet up, like where your crews are sleeping in separate rooms, and people like Pez would probably meet you there or in the atrium, ready to go up to your pods, but also you could just meet them in the pods. So it's up to you where you want to kind of...
I want to go to see what the opinion is on Sid. I want to see what the general response is.
This is your life now.
I think Kaz has had a nightmare in his sleep, right? Thinking about asking the question about Sid in the debate, saying, you know, I for one can talk about and speak about Sid and how annoying it's been. I'm sure everyone can agree with me, and then everyone going, no, it's fine, mate.
Oh, imagine it's
me
not
going,
even like
no one else has issues, and then I was like, no.
Socially
everyone
anxious.
who speaks is speaking in Sid voice.
Oh yes.
Everyone's just a red disc and their face like a lens.
Yeah.
Hey, Cass.
I think that's the nightmare he's had. So
That
he
is great, Kaz.
certainly
Just
wants to
falling
try
like
and...
Woody into the bin. It's just like...
Just relax, Kaz. Take the shower, Kaz.
Stop it!
What AI would want you now? Stick, I'm
oh
on it
my
tonight.
god, yeah. So he definitely wants to go like confirm, like just
Okay.
make sure that he's not the only one.
So I think this is going to swing... It can only really swing two ways. Either people... the majority find it fuck annoying, or people like, yeah, we need to upgrade from the free payment plan to the... So let's go around the table and make some diplomacy checks. You're going to go round, and you're going to make 4 diplomacy checks, and then we're going to roll percentile dice. And if it's 49 or under, they love him. If it's 50 or over, they fucking hate him. So you're going to make the first diplomacy check.
6.
6 total. The first group of people are like, we're just on a ship.
Yeah.
We don't really stay in the Lorespire Complex, so we don't know.
Yeah.
So there's 1 down.
3.
Oh no.
The next ones are custodies, and they're like, yes, we know that there have been some issues, but also, you know, we've got to make do.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Fair enough. Better. 14.
14. So I'd like you to roll me, please, for the third one, a D100. Obviously 49 and below. They fucking love him.
Come on,
1.
please.
49.
No, it's not,
Fucking
is
hell.
it?
Wow.
They are the biggest fat. They are
It's
6.
quite literally 1.
It couldn't be more further away.
I'm a witch.
I'm a witch. You find a group
This is
of...
fucking awful.
Mental.
Sid lovers.
Yeah.
Sid fan.
I found the wrong group.
Sid.
Yeah, you find a crew that is relatively new. Maybe they're like fresh cadets that are out of training, and they are a relatively new crew. They're like, yeah, Sid's funny as fuck, man. It's so cool. It's so funny. He's so like ditzy, but he's so cute at the same time. I love him.
That's really interesting. I mean, maybe I've just got a bugged version of Sid. I don't know. Maybe
But it runs through the.
some of the personality traits might have gone a bit ski whiff. I'm not sure.
It's the same one throughout the building.
Yeah, yes, but he has to go through certain, ley lines throughout the building. These things happen.
Are you all right?
Yeah,
Sid to stay.
yeah, I'm fine, mate. Yeah. I've got nothing else to say.
Nothing. I can't go home.
You're not less.
Do another diplomacy check.
I'm really glad you're having fun with it. That's a cocker, that one.
That's a cocker.
That's another 3.
The next crew are.
Holy shit.
They're from inside, but they're just like.
I've never rolled so bad.
It's so fucking funny.
They are all Sids.
Yeah.
So it's not even that
Am
you
I
get.
still in my nightmare?
It's not even that you get to roll on this one. Just the
Yeah,
next ones that
yeah.
you find, you're like asking around, and people are just like, "What are you going on about? Like, why do you care? Like, honestly, there are bigger things on today, buddy."
Oh wait, look! I'm just saying, like there's new management coming in probably, and we've got to make sure that all these things are being handled.
It's a room AI, dude.
No, I've just.
Turn it off.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. But you know what's fine. Thank you for your opinion. I'm off. See you later. I've got. You guys are clearly mistaken.
Okay, I'm going to make a roll behind
Sure.
for the generic Starfinder Society as a whole.
Okay. He's seeing me go, who the fuck
No,
is this guy?
this is just in general. Do they like Sid or do they not?
okay.
This is simply down to your rolls there
Yeah. Being fucking awful.
as to whether or not they like Sid.
Uh-huh.
I will take a picture of that
Oh no.
so that I can show you when we get to it. Because I think shoot your shot when you're in there.
I've seen that 20 in it and they all fucking love it.
Someone's
Sid is going to vote. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Seeker Sid.
I am never coming back to the Absalom station ever again.
Quit this cast.
This
Quit
is it.
The amount of
Yeah.
times that Calyx was like, let's not go
I'm
back to
gonna be a
Absalom,
hermit.
and now you are on the same band.
I'm going to live in a hut on some fucking planet on the other side of the galaxy.
Okay.
Still here.
I dumped your data pad. I left the Starfinder Society just like you said.
I'm going to give up all technology.
I'm in your legs.
Oh, shit. So, what was the roll?
I will tell you
Okay,
if you
cool.
decide to shoot your shot when you're in there. Because you said you wanted to ask
Oh,
questions
Go
in there.
on.
So,
I'm not sure I will with that,
No,
with how
come on.
bad that went going around to see everyone. I'll probably meet up with you guys again. I'm not asking it. I'm not doing it.
risk versus reward.
Everyone seems to love it, I think. Maybe, I don't know.
What if I put a bet on it?
A bet.
If you ask the question,
Oh.
If I ask it, I get credit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
You've got to do it.
Who cares if I get embarrassed? It's fine.
You just can't
Okay.
show your
It's right,
face in the
Kaz. It's
society.
fine.
Okay.
Sid will know.
Someone will ask something stupider.
for podcast listeners, I put a cred stick on the front of my GM screen.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to blue tack it on. If you ask the question
Yeah.
and RP it,
Yeah.
I'll give you a cred stick.
Okay. I should think about it.
Risk versus reward.
You had to take a picture of the dice.
I thought you were going to say I need to take a piss.
No.
I've got a
Is
picture
it?
of the dice. I've taken it.
Is that purely just so you know what you rolled?
No, so I can show you afterwards that I'm not.
Okay. Not
Because
fucking-
this entire campaign I've rolled pretty much everything open.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't rolled open is this election stuff. But for this one, because I want you to RP it,
Yeah.
and you are genuinely, as a player and as Kaz, nervous about asking it, I'm dangling the carrot. But I'm not going to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't want it to be seen as like me changing the results behind it. I want it to be a,
Yeah.
that's the
That's
result.
cool. Yeah.
Cool beans.
Because it could be horrific. It could be great.
While Kaz has been off doing his little Sid mission, I want to do something similar, and I want to kind of like go and find some of the other Histoki and kind of talk to them about, if anyone's, got a Starfinder badge and will be in the pods, what we should be talking about, what the general feeling is of the kind of questions that we want to be looking for.
Give me a diplomacy check. The DC is relatively low. It's going to be around a 10. Talking to other Histoki.
29.
29, yeah. So a lot of them obviously are in and about, but not many of them are going to the debates because none of them have been offered memberships to the Starfinder Society, and you think back to the conversations that you've had and the being a recognised race to be a fully fledged member, and the conversation you had with Luazi saying, you know, I'm offering it to you because you have been so active with this crew, and I don't want to miss you out. But it's unfortunately until we can get your race recognised, you what? Yeah, essentially. So the others haven't been offered that, but you think they probably will be if they want it.
Yeah.
But there are definitely those ones that are like, yeah, you know, it's really interesting to see like that we're like getting to work, and the main thing you get is they're excited because they're getting to do like data processing of the elections, of questions, of things that are coming from the pods, and yeah, they seem to actually just be enjoying the mechanical aspect of this organizational debate.
Anything that you guys think? I mean, because I've got a pod. Anything that you want me to kind of ask on our behalf?
Ooh, GM, you need to think of something there then.
Text me.
Yeah, so I think a lot of them are just going to be like, just say thank you from us, really. It's nice to, after the trouble in the tower block, to have somewhere that feels safe. And, you know, we get laughed at a lot by some people, but we also get encouraged by a lot of other people, and we get, you know, to meet other people. It's been really exciting to be here, and something funny's happening. Like, I feel funny down there.
Oh, right, no, let me... Okay, I can explain what that is, and I'll have a small little conglomeration of Hastoki, and TJ will explain to them about the beta blockers, and when a Hastoki and a Hastoki get a tingle in their jingle, what happens, and I'll be like, now here's the thing, lads, I've just learned about children, and, I don't know if we can reproduce or not, but it's just something to be aware of, because I don't know if we're capable, but if we are, be careful out there.
Look it up.
What? And yeah,
they don't need labs.
And there's just confusion on their face. But you can go through these lectures and you can chat to them. But yeah, nothing really in the way of questions from them. Maybe I guess one might say like, if we can be accepted as a race, we'd be accepted into the Starfinder Society, should we so choose, stuff like that. And can we get jobs, data processing rather than being adventurers? Can we be custodies? All those kind of things, I guess. You know, basically, can we have the same job we had before, but
with the Starfinder?
Yeah.
Cool. Cheers, bros. Keep it cheese.
Cheers, bro.
And I'll wander back.
Getting any insight?
I had a nice chat with the lads and the lasses about safe sex.
What is this episode? What the fuck is
I'm
happening?
really genuinely concerned. I mean that's something I want to ask actually is if Dynatech will release our genetic makeup so that we can be prepared, because you know I don't even know if we can have children organically, or if we're, you know, I don't know we don't know if we're prone to disease or, you know, malady and stuff we need to know.
That's very true. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Scan me. Look at my scans. I haven't been pre-sheet scans.
I mean, I've probably still got TJ's scans, I think. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Can I like check it to see if there are like proper reproduction systems? Like.
Yeah, you mean medicine check?
He's good with medicine. He can do this.
If there's one thing Kaz knows, it's balls.
23.
They call him the fondler. Brain and balls.
Kaz, the horse, the fondler, Umbra.
Umbra. I was looking at those the other night. I found them and I put them up, the old statues that you guys made.
Yeah.
As I cleared them up, and I had a good laugh and a good time, and I remembered it fondly. Good old Vorag there.
And my pancake face.
Spooner man!
Isn't it?
Oh,
I told you I was bad. I'm just saying.
it's so good. It's so good. 23 on a medicine check. Obviously, you can see that they are a organic life form. They do seem to have genitalia. Obviously, that was wired up to work as a, you know, depository system for things like urine and waste and everything like that. You do see that there are what would be reproductive glands. So,
and it doesn't seem like anything's like missing. You know.
No.
Because we as humans can have obviously the organs, but it's like one little thing's missing. Cool.
Yeah, you think there's been some gene splicing in there, and you can definitely see the Histoki have come from the Yosoki with that check. But it's not been fine-tuned to the point where it's like cutting off reproduction. That's probably why there's a beta blocker with the food.
Okay, fair enough.
Good.
I think.
No.
you-
TJ's sweating.
Yeah, I mean,
Linda comes out.
I
Feels
think,
like 12 of them in there.
I think you're probably good to go. From what I've been hearing, you've been having a lot of action.
I mean,
But
you know, you spend your whole life on a beta blocker, come off and it's like, whoop,
I wouldn't know.
jets away.
Kaz is just celibate.
Kaz, the celibate umpire.
Kaz is a virgin, so he hasn't.
Oh, Kaz.
No, Kaz.
We need to have the talk, Kaz.
Well, I'm not that silly. I'm not that stupid. I know what sex is.
Sure. I didn't.
I've just never had it.
Fair
I've
enough.
not really had the
Is your
chance.
species frequent?
I would imagine so. I think we're like any other sort of sexual.
Or do you just sort of like fly over and, like a cloud?
Well,
Another cloud comes along. Suddenly you got fish in the ocean.
Well, I think I've been doing it wrong.
is that how the
And then a
Ispraxa
giant
do it?
sperm whale comes.
What are we doing?
Fucking
What is this episode?
Now we've asked the important questions.
Yes,
Should we go to
indeed.
the debate?
You make your way to
Yeah,
the halls
yeah.
of exchange, and you can see again a good amount of Starfinders are finding their way inside. The corridors are packed, and the Starfinder crews and personnel are already on the move to their pre-assigned pods, be that on this level or above, like yours are. You find the same reflective disc-like elevator, and you begin your ascent to the corridor that leads to pod 741. Sif, would you already be in the pod?
Yeah.
You approach, and we see this gothic mummy in her. Are you wearing the wide-brimmed hat inside?
Always.
Always, and the glasses that like completely cover your eyes, the long flowing beautiful dress, and I imagine just a accoutrement.
It's a different dress, but it's still black.
Yeah. Nice.
I own this dress 7 times, one for each day. Basically my clothes.
You open up the cupboard and it's all identical.
Nice.
Oh, we've gone for midnight instead of Deep Space today. Very nice, very nice.
Oh, I'm so glad you noticed.
Of course, dear lady.
So, you know, people just don't really understand the difference.
They should.
No.
Plebs.
honestly.
The auditorium on your level remains the same, overlooking this gallery towards the base of this room. The same central podium now only holds the singular figure of the electoral speaker, this gnome female, Caldina Jomon, in their custodian attire with these leather straps and pouches all over them. The hair is this dirty blonde and pulled back into a tight bun. But this time, the candidates are not on the podium. But around the central podium, where we last saw the candidates, are now 5 hovering pods like yours, but a little bit smaller, but still big enough to hold people like Vexarian Valkyrian, only just, hovering in place around the central podium. And we'll probably take a break just there before we jump into those debates. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes' time. We'll get some of the funnies out of our system, and we'll jump into question time, I guess.
Indeed.
See you in about 10 minutes, guys.
Hey. Sans Games. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like furnished, and it was just like, we don't have any
Thanks.
space for our own
It's
shit.
right.
Would you ever take on a furnished property?
I've had
I
a
have
part
once.
furnished before. It was an absolute ball ache.
We just didn't have any space for our own stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I know there's some landlords are like, oh, we want it laid out like this, and therefore,
Yeah.
you know, it's
And
furnished and stuff.
If you're someone who's not got a lot of shit and you don't really care too much, then I'm sure it's great.
Or if you're a busy
Yeah.
lawyer or solicitor
Yeah.
and you spend most of your time at work anyway, you go
Yeah.
home and sit on a sofa, maybe watch a quick episode of something, and then back to bed.
Yeah.
Then fair enough, but like, you don't live in that.
No. No.
You can't live in it because if you rip anything, if you spill anything, and I'm a klutz.
Yeah. You gotta make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be your space.
I feel like you can't fart on a sofa in a furnished
Yeah.
apartment without having somebody at the end go, 400 quid off your deposit, that mate.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the contract, was it, buddy?
The flip side of that is when I had a flat that was part furnished and it had the best armchair in the world, and I like a really cozy little spot that looked over the
Nice.
I've
sea,
just
and I was like, I
remembered.
want to take it with me, and I can't.
Yeah, we had a really good mattress.
Mm.
It's
There's
memory.
perks.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
cons.
Pros
Yeah.
and cons, mostly cons.
I think it's mostly cons. Like that, and yeah, it's replacing something as well. It just becomes such a ball ache, and it's like something of like value is what they care about, not like quality. And you're like, it could be
Yeah.
anything. And you're, oh, come on. Or if something breaks, that's the benefit as well. Is if something breaks, they have to replace it. If it's standard wear and tear or anything like that.
Are we including white goods here?
No, because white goods tend to
White
come.
goods have warranties
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
on them,
Okay.
so
Because that came with
Yeah.
Tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you say for like value and you say there's a £400 diamond somewhere in the flat and you've just hidden it and you just say it's in there, it's equal value.
Yeah.
Just go
Yeah.
find
I was
it.
in there.
Yeah.
It's for a game.
It's in the house. Go find it.
Look, I would find that more fun.
Welcome to the Crystal Maze.
But it's one of those things that I don't really have to deal with, and I'm very glad with that because sod that. But we're back for part 2. We've had our toilet,
But
Yes.
we've had our toilet break. We've topped up our drinks. It's quite cold in here tonight. I'm really
Yeah.
quite
I can't feel my feet.
well,
I'm quite toasty. That's because I'm wearing
Bastard.
wool, so. Bastard.
It's like because the shoulders and the arms. The rest of you've got more on.
But this is like alpaca and lamb's wool and stuff, so it's like toasty warm, so I'm not cold.
I'm wearing a t-shirt, hoodie, and a jacket, and I'm freezing.
So,
So, yeah.
Seems like I
I'm
need to
wearing
make
a
you a
felt
shruggy then.
poncho.
You know what? I'm at the age.
you all nice and.
I'm quite nice
Yeah.
under the poncho.
I love a
Just
poncho.
A shirt and a poncho, and I'm quite
good.
toasty under the poncho.
I'm at the age where I've hit my middle-aged woman thing, where as long as something covers my shoulders, I'm usually okay. So, oh,
It's a comfort
Oh,
thing
it-
to
yeah.
feel over the shoulders. It's like a little hug.
yeah.
I feel like
Get back, you savage!
my feet control my temperature.
It's extremities, isn't it?
I don't know, but I feel like for me it's more than anyone else. Like
I actually agree.
when I'm in bed on a duvet, if my feet are hot, I'm fucking hot.
Yep.
And if they're cold,
Yeah, I get it.
I'm fucking cold.
I feel
it
so
doesn't
passionate
matter
about
what
this.
else everything else is doing. Yeah.
So, because this comes into the monsters under the bed problem, which is some
Okay,
people
yeah.
cannot sleep unless their feet are tucked in all snuggy, and my wife is one of them. I have to have freedom, and I have to have my feet out because they regulate my temperature at night time. And even if the rest of me is freezing, red hot, or freezing cold, the feet tend to be out so that I can regulate, or else I get like sweaty and clammy as well, and I'm not about that. Are you?
No, I'm one. I need like good tuckage.
Yeah.
Because if there's like a
Alex.
slight gap, little tuckage. If there's like a slight gap and I can feel like a breeze, it is the only thing I think about. Like if you have a little red light in the room, and even if you're facing away from it, you will still know that red light is there, and it's the same with breezes.
Sid.
So I'm it's
Yeah.
fucking
Why you got a
Sid.
red light in your room?
I don't know.
Sid. But
Feet
yeah,
out, feet in.
I'm usually feet in because I don't want to be kidnapped by the monster on the bed, obviously.
But you tucked in or you loose?
It depends. If it's cold, I'm tucked. But if it's
It's not a question to ask, is it, when you think about it, Matt?
But if it's
you tucked in
hot-
or loose?
if it's hot, I'm loose
Fucking
because
Christ.
I don't do well in heat. I'm really bad in hot weather, and so I have to like kind of
I'm the
just
same.
as long as part of me is covered, it's fine. I tend to have like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but still never over the side of the bed because that's how the monsters get you.
I have my feet kind of always slightly sticky outy anyway because I'm quite tall. and
Prove it.
but yeah, I think feet outside sometimes regulates my temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back to the temperature thing, and you don't like the heat. You don't like the heat. I adore the heat. You put me in 50, 40 degree heat, I'm yours.
Oh, I'm dead.
I adore it with a passion.
I don't mind heat rash. Like I'm fucked.
So cold for me, I get chilblains on my toes and stuff like that, and I can't stand the cold anymore. And being a winter child of Celtic descent, I should be fine. But nope, time in hot countries, I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I need the heat. I'm a lizard person these days. And I think you're the same, aren't you? It's like heat is definitely a...
Particularly going to China.
Yeah,
it's warm, it's nice, it's cozy, you don't have to worry about it. And then you come back to this damp country and you're like, oh god damn it.
Especially Cornwall, where it's just...
Fucking inhale black mold.
Yeah, it's what I've been dealing with all week. And I think it's one of those things where I love it down here. I don't think I'm ever going to move anywhere else. I think it's so beautiful. And we're very privileged to be where we are. Fuck, it's cold. Fuck, it's damp. And it's lovely on a hot day, but it's always windy up here.
Yeah.
So... You know, it swings and roundabouts, but I think when you spend, especially more than like 2 weeks, when you spend like months in a hot country, and then you come back to the UK and you're just like, fuck this! What am I doing? So
Tristan found that when he came back from Australia, and he kind of stepped off the plane and was like, oh no, what have I done?
Honestly, it feels like my inner core is just slowly dying in this kind of temperature. So I'm really cold tonight. But that's the kind of banter you get from us.
Yep.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Regulating temperature.
This is what happens when you have a podcast with people over 30.
But it is, and I'm on medication, and I've taken aspirin tonight because headaches and stuff. That's a constant. You think I'd drink more water, but instead, Nesquik chocolate milk.
Yum.
Because it's the millennial way.
Because childhood trauma.
Yeah.
But it is. It's one of those things where podcasts. A lot of people are like, oh, best dad jokes. 3, 2, 1, go. Not us. You took your feet in at night.
Asking the real.
You taking the glucosamine yet?
Yeah. How's your HRT going?
Oh, I dread that. I really dread that.
It's coming.
I know, because it's on the horizon, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a crazy bitch. I know it's gonna happen.
If you can let me know so I can write you out of that campaign.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll just like become like a cave lady and retreat from society, because nobody needs that from me.
I'm already there. But yeah, so I think that's the level of banter you're getting from us today. We're all tired, we're cold, and that's what you get in podcasters. That's what you fucking get. That's what you're not paying for.
Yeah.
Every now and again we'll hit you with a zinger. Especially Alex. Go, tell a joke. Appropriate joke.
Oh, I can't.
It can't be done, man.
No. So, the elections. We know that the outcome of this determines whether Dynatech gains access to secret information, to parts of the Starfinder Society that they didn't previously have access to, which could in turn, it could be beneficial. It's probably not going to be. We know that. We know the big evil company is probably going to be using it for their own personal gains, and capitalism is capitalism. How are you feeling as characters and as players as we go into what is essentially going to be making diplomacy checks, to talking about the mechanic that we did where we've been rolling a D100 for how many voters they're going to gain, but whatever gets said in these debates is going to adjust the cap from 100 down to 0 in increments of 25. So currently there are caps on the candidates. Some of them are at 50, some of them are at 75, some are at 100, depending on what rolls they made last time. Obviously things like Nat 1s and Nat 20s are going to affect that, but also the roll that they then make there and afterwards. And also things like you've done, like uploading things to the infosphere and influencing the influencers. All of these are coming into effect to adjust the cap of how many they can max out at. Obviously, you don't know the roles. You don't know what's been happening. You've seen how many they could potentially have, but you don't know where the caps lie. So as players coming into this sort of blind mechanic, and as characters coming into what could be a galaxy-changing situation, how do you feel?
I think we're boned if Xana gets in.
Yeah. It's exciting as a player to have this kind of it's definitely built the suspense of we don't know how it's going to go or what's going to go. Character-wise, TJ's very nervous because it could determine the entire future of his race.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. It's the Starfinders are pitching heavily currently to try and get you to be a recognised race. Dynatech have obviously shown interest in the media that they're like, we obviously need to make sure that it's correct. We want to do this by the book and make it right.
But knowing what Dynatech are like, and it's like, it's I think TJ feels a lot of responsibility because he kind of feels he's sort of done a bit more than maybe he had any right to do in kind of this whole thing, and I think particularly with the Jenkins thing, feels kind of responsible for this group now, and it's like very, very, very worried and nervous, and just trying to do right.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Jack's worried purely because Kaz's diplomacy checks are fucking awful. He's only got +2 in it. So, if he asks any questions, it's very likely not to come out good.
So, I will let you know, depending on the RP and depending on the questions you ask, it will adjust the DC.
Yeah,
I have them set, but this is one of the best mechanics in this game that I love, is that you can add circumstance bonuses to things, plus or negative, depending on what they are. So the DCs can and will change as you go through these questions. If you ask a good question that puts people on the spot that they're like, oh, you got me, obviously that's going to drop the DC for their raise the DC for their diplomacy check, but also make your diplomacy checks easier. So there is a constant balance in play here.
Yeah.
Mainly because I know that some people have only a +2 in diplomacy. And you could have the best RP ever, and then be like, roll an 18 for a dirty 20. Xano can roll a 1 for a dirty 20. Because they are built that way.
Yeah.
So, there has to be balance here, because you guys can have the best RP in the world, or the best questions in the world, and if I just keep saying, no, that DC is 35, and you can never hit that, that's not fair. That's not, for me as a GM, to ask you to roll something and then be like, but you can never make it, middle finger, I win. It's not fair.
Yep.
That's not fun. So, I think don't be too worried.
Okay.
Be a little worried.
Yeah.
Don't be too worried.
Yeah.
A
Be a little worried.
regular amount of worry.
Yeah.
To be anxious.
Oh, I didn't bring my propeller along.
I've got surgery, don't worry about it.
Never again.
Yeah? So, Tamsin is excited. What about Sylph?
Also, Quad just wants change.
Yeah?
She's excited for a potential change. Did say this in the break, but I will also, just for fun of some of these questions, just throw out some other characters of Starfinders for some of these questions.
Yes. So what me and Tamsin have decided, because obviously Tamsin normally plays a character called Calyx, but they're currently in a 17-day transitional process.
He's chowder right now.
He's soup adjacent.
Nice, chunky soup.
Metapod is currently trying to become Butterfree. And... Metapod.
Space-free.
Spudderfree. But yeah, so Tamsin is obviously playing an interim character right now, but something they've done and something that I think is very interesting is that you can play, not necessarily full characters, but you can then pretend to be other members of the Starfinder Society based on the questions that you ask. And so Tamsin's going to be taking on many roles tonight, almost like a co-GM almost, which I quite like.
Just fill out some of the Starfinder crowd.
I imagine Roos is pretty much just now focused on...
Yeah, I guess because he kind of came into the group quite late.
Yeah.
And he was more concerned about the welfare of you guys, and he kind of like lets you take the front stage with this kind of thing. And he's more for like muscle and backup, and then he might have certain concerns. Now he has a big concern, and that might come through a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the whole, generally, he's just like looking out for you guys.
Okay. You
Also, I didn't
stand,
think of any question.
sit, however you are in your pod, as these candidates all... You see, like, the pods taking their place around the central podium as the electoral speaker, this gnome female, that you now know to be Caldina Jormon.
Welcome, Starfinders, and thank you for all making your way back to the halls of exchange in time for the electoral debates here today. In a moment, we will open up the room for all of you to ask your questions of the candidates. Please remember to try and keep it polite I understand these talks can become quite emotive, but that doesn't mean we need to devolve into monsters and animals. Now, to begin the debates, I call forth each candidate to state their primary intention if elected First Seeker.
You see the screens flick to the face of Luwazi Elsibo. Her voluminous hair and trademark red bandana, she smiles politely as she begins to talk. Good morning, fellow Starfinders from far and wide. Thank you for being here. I'm Luwazi Elsibo, and I wish to remain as First Seeker of the Starfinder Society. When I set out as First Seeker, it was my intention to try and send you all out to the corners of the galaxy and bring back star charts, data, relics, and items that, should you choose to donate to the cause, would be sold to begin building a society pot, a pool of money that could be used by future First Seekers to help fund and aid other members of this society. Granted, we are not quite there yet, but it just takes time. I implore you to be patient with me. It will pay off. She sits back down. We are going to make a roll. That opening speech. I will do this open. This is just a D20 for a diplomacy check. It's a 7 on the dice. Modifiers, just so I've got that. I can add it to everything in a minute. She sits back down, and the electoral candidate waits a moment as everybody begins to clap. And she gestures over to another pod, and the screens change, and we see the face of John, this older human male, who stands up from his seat. I would like to open up for more recruiting within the Starfinder Society. Maybe set up a few secondary spires where we can recruit younger people with a mix of practical and personal qualities. The kind of youth that can adapt to situations and handle the complexity of change that we see in the younger generations of this day and age. Thank you. And
Bloody good! John! He's not wrong!
it's a pretty
That's a good
concise
stance.
and well-rounded speech, and you see a lot of people around the room are kind of like, oh, shit, okay. Fucking hell. Like, I didn't think he had it in him.
John,
And you see like Luwazi smile as people clap. But let's see how good that was.
Come on, John.
That's funny. Come on, baby.
12 on the dice.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay.
Come on, John.
With his modifier.
-8. Oh, it is!
It's fucking low.
Oh!
Come on, John.
So, John's roll is a 12 on the dice plus his modifier. What this is going to do, once I've got it all written down, is it's going to set, or it could change the cap that's currently on everyone's. From everything you've done, what they've spoken about already, this is going to be a constantly changing mechanic. As he sits back down, people are like, fucking hell, all right, yeah, that was to the point. The clapter.
Yeah.
The clap
The clapter's over quickly. Wow. As the screens flick again and the first speaker presses something, not the first speaker, the electoral speaker presses something, you see Solias come up on the screen. This long-haired human male, their hands and arms moving like they're already treading water in this pod, but they look very sturdy in their hover pod.
As First Seeker, I intend to focus this society on the search of aquatic planets for lost treasures and ancient civilizations, and artifacts lost to the oceans and seas, to bring a sense of sub-archaeological adventure to the forefront of society workings.
People are like, a fair amount of people that are clapping already that are already in his corner. 16 on the dice. Plus his diplomacy. Forgot he was an envoy. Captain of a starship.
Quite good, isn't it?
It's quite good. It's ridiculous. So that was, 16 on the dice. Maths. Christ, Elias. Okay. As he stands there for a second, stunned by his own words, people clap and the screens change before he sits down, and it's only when people begin to clap for the next one that he realizes and brings himself back into the room and sits down. As next on the screen, we see this dragonkin, this dragon face appears. These amber green eyes, that long snout, still covered in that power armor that's like wrapped around things like legs and tail. A really prominent sense of pride and that chest standing out. She Vexaran Valkyrian. I wish to bring the Starfinder Society in line with the stewards and the Iondian fleets to be another unit on the front lines against the tyranny of true evil, should the forces of evil rear their ugly heads. I intend to bring my military background to the forefront of the society to make sure each member and crew will be trained to a military grade, from being a cadet to joining as a later entrant. And again, they sit down, just like before, really fast. And people are like, okay, right, that's very quick and very sudden to be over. They rolled a 9 on the dice. Vexaran. Okay. Maybe you go to type somewhere, it just puts it right in the middle of your sentence. Oh, come on! I want to do this smoothly. Everyone's rolling quite well.
Except this last one, hopefully.
Now, he sits back down and people are clapping and the screen changes to Zano, and there is a moment of hushed silence. Give me a sense motive check. Everybody can do this.
Oh, is he being wanky?
He's being a wanky.
Ooh, is it a little wank, is it?
Oh, that's pretty good. It's a 23.
23 from Roos.
Gosh, not bad for me. 20. I can't count today. 24.
24. 23, 24.
32.
32.
So
13. You all definitely pick up on this like moment of silence where the entire society is like, and the rest of you realise people are listening to see if, because everybody holds off clapping for a second, and they are waiting to see if, and you can see them looking around everywhere.
Okay, cool.
But you don't hear clapping, and then people are like,
God. Shamed her into it.
yeah, you get the sense that the speakers haven't been turned on.
Good.
I entered to end the piracy and hidden agenda of Luwazi Elsipo, and in doing so, return that pot of gold to you all. From there, I will use what I have learned from my time with Dynatek Industries to restructure the society into a more financially stable home for us all.
As Zan stands there, some people begin to clap. You definitely get the sense people are like, woo! And then she carries on.
I will stop the lies, I will bring about truth, and I will make sure this society is put back into the people that make up its organization. I will ensure your financial stability as members of the Starfinder Society.
They're going to make a diplomacy check. Now, last time we rolled a nat 1, and I had that really horrible manifestation that this time it's going to be a nat 20.
It's not that, but it's fucking good.
Hi.
As a 19.
Yeah.
What is it, math boy?
I don't know what
Plus 19.
Plus
this is,
19.
isn't it, I think?
38 then.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah, but it is,
number. That's big, that is.
And you know, because you know her modifier.
Yeah.
And people do applaud. People are like, and it's almost like that beat waiting for the applause to begin with. That silence, and then people are like clapping in the first time. And now when she finishes the speech, you can see that some people are like, whoa, and like really into it. Others doing the same polite clapping as the rest of you.
Now that we have heard from the candidates, I ask the floor to bring your questions to these individuals.
And you see that like all of your pods begin to light up, and you can see that there are command buttons and there are things where you can press a button to be like, I would like to be recognised to speak to the room. If you would like me to go first, that's fine, but if people have got things they would like to do or things they would like to say first, then that's absolutely fine. What I'm trying not to do is just shout over each other at this point,
Yeah.
as we all have questions. So we either, I don't know if you want to raise a hand, or if you're going to be like, me, please, sir. Who presses their button? Who do we see?
So this is a noir, which is a about 8 foot tall cow person. They are
Like
big.
a minotaur.
They are like a minotaur. They are huge and wide, and he's wearing big plate armor. He's got a massive gun on his back, and he's got huge, like, water buffalo horns. That on the buffalo horns there are these gold rings, like, pierced in, and like little flags down of and sort of symbol of his own world. No, I'm not saying about the kind of piracy that Zano's talking about us, but I have heard the people have called the Starfinders pirates. The jurisdiction of the Starfinders has come into question, and our difference is two pirates. We go out there, we take, and everything. So how do you plan on addressing the wider public's perception of us, and are we different to pirates?
And is this directed at someone, or you open this up to them all?
All of the questions I will ask are open to everyone.
Okay, I'm going to quickly write in their cap changes, so give me 2 seconds, and then I will deal with the overview of pirates. While we wait,
While Ian does this, why don't you head on over to www.warriorprints3d.etsy.com and use our permanent exclusive code to the stars to get 10% off your high quality 3D prints. Once you've done that, head on over to rollandplaypress.com and use the affiliate code Dragonborn10 for another cheeky 10% discount. My goodness, you lucky beasts. Once you've done that, with all the money you've saved, head on over to dragonbornindustries.com and buy yourself some lovely merch or some sexy little dice. There's a whole plethora of things that some might be for limited time, so get them while they're hot, children.
I'm going to roll a dice. Thank you very much for that. 1 to 6. I'm going to roll it. If it's 6, I'm going to roll again. I'm going to pick them via a dice roll. First up is Valkyrian, who takes first. This dragonkin stands up and they flash across all your skins. The idea that the Starfinders are pirates is nothing more than a travesty. And yes, there are greedy adventurers among them all, but with some military discipline and training, we will make sure that the values of the Starfinder Society are upheld only to the higher standard. From the core training, we will make sure that this badge of piracy is lost. And you get a sense through like hard training, they are going to adjust things. 3. Zan presses a button, and you can see they tried to get in first, but Valkyrian eagerly got there to begin with. They stand there with their hands, these Shirin carapaced fingers tucked into each other in this very serene pose. Something you've seen a lot of Solarians kind of do, this like grounding, centering position. Their eyes flashing this compound orange look up. I have spoken a lot, passionately, about this particular matter. The fact that it has even been allowed to get to this point is nothing short of a joke. You have become nightmares to some people across the galaxy. The Starfinders are going to come in and loot my corpse or take things away from us because they think they have a right to it under people like Luwazi. I wish to see this changed because whatever you bring back so far is taken from you. Why wouldn't you want to keep it? But I want to make sure the society gives things back to you in the first place. If you are already funded or if you already have money, you would be less likely to steal. And I'm not saying it's you, but anybody who might have that ilk that's coming into the Starfinder Society. And while we sit here under the rulership of a pirate queen, let's say, that's the mentality that is there. I will bring corporate structure to the Starfinder Society, and you will be paid on a regular basis. Why would you need to steal if you're being paid? Why would we need to be seen as pirates if you are paid to do this work? People are like, huh, it's a tad aggressive, but it's got some merits. Like, why would somebody with a job need to steal? They're clearly going to be all right. And you see like the murmurings going around.
Don't like it.
A bastard.
Yeah. Where's Jean when you need him?
Okay. Next up. 6, I'll re-roll it. 2, I'll re-roll it. 2, I'll re-roll it. Come on! 2, I'll re-roll it. It's off the table.
Two.
2, I'll re-roll it. 4.
John!
I wasn't expecting that question. I may not know much about the galaxy, and the only time I have heard this place being called a den of pirates is, I'm afraid, by a fellow candidate here.
Oh, John!
Way!
Get it in there.
Get in, John!
I think you should all be very proud of who you are. I'm certainly proud of you. You have gone out into the galaxy further than I could ever have dreamed of going in my life, and you have brought back data and information invaluable to the Starfinder Society, and you've been asked not to give up anything more than what is fair or that you wanted to. I know there have been a few bad eggs with any society or any organization, but that doesn't mean that we are pirates, and I'm afraid I don't have much experience in the moniker of the Starfinders being pirates, but I think you should be proud.
John!
John!
That was fucking great!
You should get at least a +10 for that.
John is a legitimate candidate.
He's the dad we all need.
Everyone needs a John.
Everyone needs a John.
Odds and evens now, because there's only 2 left. Odds, it's Luwazi. Evens, it's Captain Solias. Odds.
Who wants to go next question-wise?
I've got a question.
I've got a question as well. But
Mine's a
Got
bit.
list, so it's fine.
Mine's like a silly one, just to have some input. So if there's one more important one, then please
Okay.
go ahead.
I've got a few, so I'll just
Yeah.
go in whenever.
Okay, take it turns.
Luwazi
Should
stands
we go
up,
round
Yeah.
instantly?
Yeah, you go first.
and you can see that she looks pained, and there's a sad look on her face. I thank you, John, for those words. You are a very kind soul, and it's my pleasure to stand here with you.
Did you make yourself a little bit sad?
Going.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
Ian! You got yourself, mate!
did.
Oh
Wow.
no! Oh!
There you go.
I got you correct, wasn't it?
I fucking did.
Just
Yeah.
emotion!
Yeah. Well, I know what's kind of happening as
Yeah.
well.
my god, is John sick?
Oh
No, Ian is fucking hell. I really set myself up.
no!
Bless him.
Wow.
See, this is why we don't hide behind a paywall. Where else could you get
Yeah.
this?
It's fucking genuine tears.
Quality
Wow.
emotion right there.
Ian is legitimately leaking.
But I don't want to carry on. Fuck. I'm a man.
Fuck's sake.
Oh Christ! I don't have mental health conditions. Fucking hell.
Oh.
I thank you all. I am saddened to my very core that my role and my duty and my initial intent as First Seeker has been seen by anyone as piracy, even a friend. And she looks across to Zano. But this isn't about a sad story or emotion. I am just trying to build a pot so that whoever replaces me at the right time has the funding. I have been very open with what we have financially. And granted, there are things that I cannot share with you because they are dangerous. But I promise you, I promise, if we are patient, it will be fruitful. I will do whatever I can to be open and honest. If I need to share financial data, information, I will. I'm very okay with that. But it's not going to be a quick solution. It is time that we need to build the resources. I have only been First Seeker for just over a year. Some missions take longer than a year. Please. We are not pirates. You are not pirates. We are adventurers. And she just sits back down.
Come on, was he?
It was a roll.
It sure was. That's a
Dice
roll.
moved.
Captain Salias.
Here we go.
Okay, now.
Go get into it.
Oh, wait.
I mean, the pirates of old would sail the seas, and there is something to be said about the adventures they would have. I am not a pirate. A pirate needs a crew. What?
And like, people start, he's like, wait. He rolled a culture check at fucking that one. So he's like, thanks, so he's gonna make a diplomacy roll. Yeah, okay.
Common is not his
Oh my
first
God.
language.
Oh dear.
Actually makes him suffer.
Thank you everybody for that question. Thank you.
What was their name?
Oh God. Coverall.
Thank you, Caverall of the
Oh,
What's your ship name?
of the Dark Moon.
the Dark Moon.
Dark
Hey, that's a good
The
one.
Dark Moon.
Thank you, Cabaret of the Dark Moon. And thank you, candidates, for answering that question. Is there any other questions?
Kabah!
This is TJ.
Yeah, this is TJ.
Recognizing TJ Squeakerson of the Orion's Hope.
Thank you. First off, I would like to preface my question with the heartfelt thanks and gratitude of the Histoki to the Starfinder Society at large. Thank you for opening your doors to us. We appreciate that things are uncertain, and even a brief reprieve of safety is much appreciated, and in the short time that we have known and worked alongside you all as Starfinders. We have been touched by your generosity, your openness, and your chutzpah. In light of that, we are aware that we are not a recognized race. My question to all candidates is, would you still support us in our endeavor for becoming a part of the Pact Worlds? Is that something that you foresee yourselves doing or not? And if not, or if so, why? Thank you.
Yep. This gnome electoral speaker turns to the candidates, and Valkyrian steps up first. The Hastoki would make a fantastic secondary force within the Starfinder units. The sheer numbers that have been produced by Dynatek Industries are nothing more than an amazement to me. It would be interesting to see whether or not they do or do not make their way for, or make it to full species recognition within the Pact world. But either way, we would find a way to utilize them within our forces.
Ooh, cross that one off.
We would be happy to have them as full members of the Pact. Straight into the point.
I
mean, you know what you
yeah,
get.
exactly. He's upfront about it. You've got to give him that.
Next up, Lavoisier smashes that button.
Come on, Wazzy.
And this room is huge, and she looks directly to your pod. My friend, thank you. That is a question that only you could ask. Of course, I already recognize your species as a member of the Pact species. I hope, and you see her head turn towards Zano, my former friend and crewmate would feel the same. And I'm sure there will be a very pretty and well-worded response to that very question. Of course, you are people. People are like,
Woo!
clapping. Next up. It's a 1, it's a 6, 3. Zan. Takes it straight afterwards. Hello, Starfinders, and hello, TJ. It has been a while since I first asked for you to go on that mission with the Starfinders. The current state of affairs with the Hastoki, as we all are aware, is that they are in the processing of being recognized as an official member race of the Pact. As it currently stands, I cannot speak on the matter because I am still an employee of Dynatek Industries. But of course you have your place. And they sit back down.
Can I sense motive that comment about that she asked for either TJ or the Hastoki on that first mission?
Yeah. They're going to make a roll.
That's not right. 22. From a 6, so not that bad.
Pretty good.
You're quite far away, but there's a sense that that was quite throwaway. You're not sure if it's like just a random person, you in particular. You don't
Yeah.
think it would be you in particular. But there's definitely, like, she's trying to make that connection there openly. What you do get a sense of, and I will give you this one with that particular role, is she held back.
Yeah.
And it's like she's poised and waiting.
Cool.
You get the sense you worded that very well.
Nice.
5.
So, polite.
Right. I'm gonna give him a culture check.
Softest of calls.
Hey, that was a really high culture check. Captain Solias comes up on the screen.
If you can love, if you can breathe, if you can enjoy the sounds of the ocean, then why wouldn't you be a member of the Pact? Why wouldn't you be an accepted race? Love is all around us, and we should love one another. I would be excited to see the Hastoki provide
You're already well onto that.
Yeah.
provide another fantastic.
I'm trying to think of the right word here. Something along the lines of like just basically being able to add another.
Dimension?
No, it's
Diversity of race.
Yeah, I guess some more another aspect of diversity within the Pact worlds. We are a refuge for many. Thank you.
Make a roll.
Right.
I'm telling you now, they are all rolling fucking rocks back here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Aren't we all rolling rocks in the end?
Can you ever really own a horse?
Oh, I dropped it down.
Or are we all actually the horse in the end?
We're all versatile.
Done the
enough to
Wazi,
be
done the
like-
We are,
Valkyrie, done
yes.
that. So it's just John.
Very versatile.
John stands up.
John, let's go!
John!
Get in there, John.
Don't let us down, John.
Come on.
It's an interesting question. What is a sentient species? What is a species ready of being given their rightful place? I remember when the androids and the android abolitionists fought for their place. We once saw them as tools, a lot like the Hastoki. We saw them as a race that were created, that were just there to ease the resources of mankind and of humanoids all over the galaxy. Yet, is that not the same reason the Hastoki were created? Yes, I think it was. If that is the case, and we can learn not just from the androids but also anacytes and other races that have come into their own SROs, synthetic robotic organisms. Of course, as long as it can be proved, then yes. And from what I have seen, the Hastoki are as much alive as the rest of us. Yes, I would love to see them as members of the Pact.
John! That's a face.
Come on, John. Come on, John.
Come on, John.
Oh,
Again, rolling rocks.
Come on, John.
Shame about his modifier.
-10.
It's not good.
Come on, surely all this exercise is giving him charisma boost.
It's fucking not.
Thank you once again for that question, TJ of Orion's Hope. Next on the floor, please.
I've just kind of wrote this. Is this cool?
Yeah,
I was like,
of course.
Above table.
We're playing a game, buddy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
All right. So
What are you wearing?
there's
What's in my
a
pocket?
Boxers
like
or
a-
briefs?
module in front of you, and then there's just like sludge just goes, and then this face forms out of this sludge, and it's like really weird looking. And then this voice. There are many beings present here. Yet believe me when I say that most who are present are unseen. It is the burden of the most simple life forms to lay low and allow more complex organisms to extract resources from worlds that many would be considered uninhabited. What resistance could the new First Seeker, and by extension the Starfinder Society, protect the rights of those who must already lay claim to the worlds whom otherwise would be imperceptible to most? I ask this humbly. Yours truly, unknown bacterian.
That was fucking incredible.
Fucking amazing.
So I'm going to presume that wasn't
Absolutely
Roos.
amazing.
yeah, fucking hell, dude.
Have a credit stick for that. So I'm assuming that wasn't Roos.
No.
So
Unknown bacterium.
Bacterium.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I literally just read that in the last 5
That's
minutes.
awesome.
And is that like another? Was that a genuine race that you found, or are you just like fucking?
I just winging it.
Bacteria
Awesome.
wine.
Bacteria wine.
All along.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna make some checks because obviously that's not also a recognised race. 1, 2, 3,
Spat everywhere.
4,
Sound
5.
like
It
there was
was
a lot of
fucking
spit.
awesome though, and I
Yes.
really liked that. Who's gonna step up first? Valkyrian. He's fucking on it. I don't know who you are or what this is. What is going on here? If somebody is recognised by the Pact, then we will recognise them as a race. I'm afraid we have answered this question already.
Wasn't even the question.
I think it's maybe.
Yeah, to him, it's basically another person being like, do you recognise us and how are you going to protect us in the Pact worlds? So, and a nat 1.
Sounds about right.
That's a bad miss.
That's a bad miss.
People are like, the fuck is happening? Sam. Yes. Protection is key. And I think as we explore the galaxy, your right to live is important. You need to be funded and given decent equipment to protect yourself as you go about your duties as a Starfinder. And I will ensure that every member of the society is protected via equipment and finances. That's a cocker.
I don't like the faces that are being made behind that damn screen.
Behind that damn screen. Valkyrian. Valkyrian.
I've got more to say!
Zam. There we go.
That's it!
That's how he does the conversation.
I've been very open that I have not ever really left the reaches of Absalom Station. I cannot speak of the dangers out there. I'm afraid it is only the stories that good people like yourself bring back to me. But I would like to try and make sure that the rights of everyone who goes on missions are protected under the Pact and follow and stick to the Pact. As for...
And then he like stops for a second and is like,
I think the same as Zan here, you should be equipped properly, but that is also, I think, partly the responsibility of Starfinders themselves as well, is that you should be prepared. We can offer you, through training in the cadet programs, the basic knowledge, but I do believe that the greatest of the Starfinders found their own way in the universe. And sometimes that is something that we will have to continue to do.
Woo! Who'd have thunk it, eh? John.
Captain Elias, what the fuck are you? I have never seen something so horrific in my life. I am scared and I want to go home.
Oh!
Incredible.
Jesus.
Absolutely incredible.
And in that one.
Oh, that's very apt.
Oh! Poor lone bacterium.
Are there next questions, please?
It's the slapping that bottom.
Is this Kazumbra?
Yep.
The floor recognises Kazumbra of Orion's Hope.
My question goes to all candidates who are willing to answer. Zano of Dynatech has promised funding to many Starfinders in their expeditions to help them in their adventures. But as far as I've heard, it sounds like this will only become a job rather than a lifestyle and a way of life. Who else here can promise that they'll fund the Starfinders more in their expeditions? Who else here can truly promise that they will keep the Starfinders at the very forefront of their mind if they were to become First Seeker? Financial needs are of course somewhat important, but the Starfinder Society and its core values are so much more than credits and KPIs. It's the thrill of the adventure, the thrill of exploring the unknown and undiscovered. Who else here can stand and tell us right now that they know what it truly means to be a Starfinder and will do everything in their power to preserve that notion?
Ah! Ah! Ooh.
You have to give me that one on there.
You guys got all my
We
questions?
can't have that many out.
I've got two.
I've got one.
Got one.
So 2, 3, 4.
James is hacking.
I don't think he
Can I
is.
have that one?
You can have that one.
Thank you.
That was a
Away.
fantastically worded question that you see again. Two members of the Starfinder Society candidates beam with a smile. Lavoisier and John.
Yay.
John.
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 Person to answer that question is John.
Nice.
Oh, he's getting fast on his reflexes.
He's on
It's
it.
probably because he hasn't sat down yet. He's like,
I've got that one. You have said, you have hit the nail on the head. The Starfinder Society is an adventuring society, even for those of us who have never left the safety of home. It's the stories, the ethos, the core traits. That is what makes a person, I believe, a Starfinder. I don't think the Starfinder Society needs to change that much. I just want to see it grow. I want to see new recruits. My problem is that we can only train cadets here from Absalom Station. I think we should have more spires where we can train cadets without having to bring them here. We can keep them closer to home while they are still young. We can make it their choice.
people are like, yeah, clapping.
John! Smashing it, John.
Yeah.
Didn't roll so well though.
Oh, John.
Oh, John, no.
But there are things.
There are things in play.
Next up, Captain Salias.
My fellow candidate is quite right. Being a Starfinder is about adventuring, but it is important to have the funding, I think. I stood originally as a beacon of Zano, and I wanted to see us funded by that company and by, well, not by the company, sorry, that's not it, by Zano's company information and structure. But now I think we could take the pot that has already been collected. I'm sure it is wealthy enough. And we could find more, especially in lost ocean planets. We spend most of our time exploring the stars, not beneath the waves. I am sure there is more under the oceans of so many celestial bodies than we could ever dream of. That is how I will keep the Starfinder Society funded and is the forefront of my plans.
It's better than his other answers,
Yeah.
to be fair.
What the fuck are you?
Did not roll so well.
Come on.
He's having a bad day, isn't he?
Valkyrian.
The Starfinder Society is in danger. Not just from monsters and pirates
and other entities that we run into on a daily basis, but from its very core, when we go through elections like this, we never know what our next First Seeker is going to be. But if we can put in a military structure, leave somebody with a good hierarchy of command, like the Iondian fleets, like the militaries that I have been in, that will give us security and keep the Starfinder Society at the forefront of its capability. Ooh, that was a roll. Next up. Fucking Valkyrian really wants to speak.
And another thing.
You've got to shut your chance, mate.
Lawazi steps up. I agree with the sentiments of a lot of the candidates here. I think the question is well worded, and I think that the Starfinder Society is an adventuring society that does need to think about its forefront and think about how it's going to move forward, and that was my plan. I'm just trying to preserve finances so that we can move into whatever phase comes next ready. I'm just trying to be prepared. I'm trying to keep us prepared. I know that it looks like I've done nothing, but I promise you I have. I know that my tenancy here as First Seeker is not forever. It is a short-run job. But if I can just create that pool of resources for us, we should be laughing and we should be good to go for a long time. There's a lot of decent rolls going on back here. A couple of bad ones, but a lot of decent ones. Zano. I suppose this is where I sound like a broken record. Everybody here is saying that their plan is to keep it at the forefront, but this is the same thing we hear every time. We cannot carry on the way that it is. They are such dangerous missions that many Starfinders die on them. Many new recruits die on them. Lack of equipment, lack of funding, and then sometimes a glint of gold at the end of a corridor can be enough to tantalize people into a dangerous situation. If you weren't so desperate for funding, if you weren't left in such squalid conditions, you wouldn't need to think like that. I do want to restructure the organization and the society. I want to make sure that, like Valkyrian here, there is a new structure to make sure that you are always looked after. That is my plan, to keep the Starfinder Society at the forefront. Let's use the information that Dynatech has. Let's use it to propel ourselves into whatever we need and wherever we need to be. Isn't more information and more knowledge better for us all? Make a roll. There is a moment where there's this pause, and again you can hear people like trying to wait and listen to see if there's like this applause that comes through speakers, and it doesn't happen. And then people begin to clap, and some are like, "Yeah, we need funding." Others are like, "All right, calm down." It's very much starting to become a bit more of a.
She called everyone desperate.
Yeah.
There
She's
is.
said a few things a little bit like.
Yeah.
She has. She has. I'm just trying to find a certain thing that I wrote because it's important. As Zano is standing there, the next pod is pressed, and another person's pod moves forwards, and we recognize Captain Capricious Creel of the Ebon Hawk. My brother's statue sits in the main atrium of this society. He died as a casualty of what was two companies, the Hardscrabble Collective and Astral Extractions, fighting over a rock that in the end turned out to be an ancient piece of technology that could have ended the galaxy if in the wrong hands. Even after discovering the true nature of this death, they both denied involvement and blamed it on gangs of this station and poorer members of Absalom society. I suppose my question is for the corporate lapdog Zan. How can we trust that this is your interest for being First Seeker and not the company's interest, Dynatech's interest, here in the society? What's to say that this isn't some scheme to buy us out or to become workers and not adventurers? And that gets an applause from
My man!
different people around the room. Okay. Zan, who hasn't sat down yet, looks up. I am sorry to hear about your brother. The corporate world, I have learnt, is a vicious one. One that we have seen time and time again can be brutal. Dynatech clearly had nothing to do with your brother's demise. Yes, it is a company, but I'm afraid I couldn't speak on that particular situation. As far as Dynatech is concerned, I am here as a Starfinder and as somebody who has had dealings with Luazi Elsebo over the past year while I have been working at Dynatech. I know Luazi Elsebo. I was on a crew with her for many, many years. I need to bring something up. Luazi Elsebo is not good at getting a decent deal on the current items collected and sold by the Starfinder Society, nor are they any good at negotiating with companies like Dynatech Industries. They have been a detriment, from what I have seen, to the Starfinder Society. Every time as exploration has reached out to her, she has buffed away many financial gains that could be in your pocket right now. Why? Because arrogance. Because we had a falling out. That is not in your best interest. The company is neutral. They don't care. I am here because I am bored of seeing a Starfinder First Seeker use their emotions rather than their head. I'll give you all a sense motive check.
Man's just going for fun. Other candidates. What did you get?
10.
God damn. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
6, okay.
30.
30.
10.
10.
24.
24. For TJ and for
Okay.
Kaz,
Yes.
that question came as a bit of a surprise. You get the sense she didn't know that information, and you hear a lot of the Starfinder side are like, Derivol Creel, and they're talking about, like, you can hear the murmurings going around, and this particular dwarven member of the Starfinder, he's got like blonde, kind of greasy hair, this long, like, pirate, it does look like a pirate's trench coat, it doesn't help the situation. However, has thrown a question out that people have rumoured about for a while. The rock in question, give me a culture check.
It's a bad miss.
Are we all doing?
Yep.
This dice.
Come on, Ooh.
21.
Yep.
14.
Natural 1 for a 10.
Awesome. You wouldn't know.
No.
11. I think maybe for you guys, you heard of because it was literally a Starfinder mission about a year ago. A ship came out of the drift and it had a rock attached to it, and it was just nicknamed the Drift Rock, and it was like a sheared piece of rock, and it became a bit of a race between certain companies to try and lay claim to it. It was an abandoned ship, and although it had gone on missions for certain people, the ship belonged to one, the crew belonged to another, and it was a case that people then were like, it was put into quarantine because it was from the drift, and also then this jurisdiction race happened. But the Starfinders were brought into effect to go and investigate, and it was the crew of the Ebon Hawk who went. There was an interesting find in a ship called the Sunrise Maiden. It had been lost to the drift for nearly 70, 80 years, and this crew found it. The crew inside had perished, but this essentially artifact of a ship, this iconic vessel and crew, this mystery had been solved. What wasn't known was that what Propratious Creel has just said about the Hardscrabble Collective and the Astral Extractions using gangs and lower members of the city to take the blame. As Starfinders, the plaque on Duravor Creel's statue states he was killed in the crossfire between gangs in Docking Bay 94 while waiting for new members of the Starfinder Society to arrive. And that's like new information, and people, that ripples out, and people have been like pondering that mystery for a long time, and then people are like, that's the crew of the Ebon Hawk, and they sort of went missing, nobody heard of them, and now they're kind of back. Next question.
They found nothing at all on that rock.
You see?
No,
you don't see.
I've got one, but if you go around again.
Let's take another NPC.
Yeah.
Who do we see?
This is actually going to be Sylph this time. Sylphia.
What's your ship called?
The Bubble.
We recognise Lady Sylph of the Bubble.
Said with a dead serious face.
That is quite a nice name, to be honest.
The Bubble. Really should have said the name.
The Bubble Telescope.
Okay.
Incredible.
I'm going to very slightly look at TJ before I say this. This isn't meant personally.
But I'm immediately taking it personally.
Noirzy's recent decision to harbour the Hastoki without wider consultation does reflect on the rest of us, and while I don't disagree with giving them harbour, it was made and does represent us all, no matter how we feel. Xano also has her ties with Dynatech, and we are unsure of all of Dynatech's reasons. Vaxaran has his decisions to make us a military order. With all of this, how can we hold our leaders accountable for their decisions? How can we know that what they're saying is within our interests when these make a significant impact on us, but there is no transparency or public input?
Is that open to everyone, or is that just a...
It's open to all of them.
Okay. I realise that these answers can take a while, so I'm going to try and burn through them quite quickly now. So I realise the time. So we're going to start with John John.
You are quite right, Lady Sylph of the Bubble.
It's just fun to say it like that.
Of the Bubble. What does make us accountable for our actions and for us being a society? I think that the society needs to remain relatively what it is, but be more open. I think that change is scary, but sometimes inevitable. I don't really want to see change just yet, however, myself. I would just like to see more inclusion. I do worry what some of these other candidates may bring about with that answer. I would not like to be a military. Although combat is a daily aspect of many Starfinders. It is not a necessary one. It is a choice. And a choice to be a Starfinder, it should always be.
Put your teeth back in, John. Put your teeth back in.
I'm sorry, I've set myself off. I don't know where else to go with that after that, so I'm going to leave it there.
John!
George. Sounds like the original Dumbledore.
Doesn't he?
Oh, he
He's
does.
got the Griffith about him.
Yeah.
Dunno.
Structure. Structure is key to any discipline. Yes, we could look at the military might like our friend Valkyrian here wishes to bring. However, I have learned that armies fall in a day. Militaries crumble and change depending on the nature of good and bad and its perspective. When we look at the corporation structures, we know one thing. We know why it's doing what it's doing. We know how the wheels turns, and we know if that kind of structure is in place here, it's secure. We know how it works. We see it, that corporations and businesses have survived since the dawn of time. It would just be wise to run it that way. Do you not think it would be wise to run it that way?
It's a cocker, that's why I rolled twice. Next up, who was he? We are a free people. We always have been. I think sometimes structure is the perfect answer. And yes, there is a modicum of combat and danger that we see every day. And as John says, it should be a choice. To fight, to run, but we are free people. Isn't that what makes us so unique as a society, is that we have people from all different walks of life. They're bringing so many different cultures and diversities, but also different points of view. And we can sit here as officials and we can change those as we need. But it shouldn't necessarily be a permanent change. And I guess nor should it always be a permanent fixture to be the way we are. I'm trying to think of an answer like her now.
I said what I said, bitches.
Yeah, it's trying to keep it concise as well. I think she'll leave it there. That's another cocker.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else not been Captain Celeste?
Oh, yes.
I might just give him his roll outright. Okay.
Ooh.
He's not that smart.
Why would you be
The shrug.
I actually think, like, why would he be accountable is the bit that he really focuses on. Is like,
I could not say that whatever happens on your missions should always fall back on the First Seeker. It is the responsibility of the crew to act in what is the best interest of this society. That is why I work alone. It is, I can hold myself accountable to my actions.
that's it.
Fair.
Fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, not bad.
Such a good roll as well. 1, 2, I think.
I mean, after it's blinded with the bacteria.
As a military forefront and training and structure, of course you will be held accountable because you will follow a strict regiment of training.
Done.
Yeah. Fucking hell, shut up.
I imagine Kaz says that.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut fuck up.
That's them. Any more questions?
Poof.
TJ?
TJ.
We recognise TJ Squeakson of Orion's Hope.
Hello again, thank you. This question is to Zano. And I preface this with first a personal thanks, for it was you who set me out on my first mission with the Starfinders. Now, I do agree with you, Zano, with what you say that the corporate world is indeed a vicious one. The corporate world is a world in which me and mine were left partially ourselves, on beta blockers that stopped us from experiencing life at its fullest. Kept in small, bland rooms, fed the dead protein matter of other Hastoki without our knowledge or consent. Now you say that the corporate structure is one where you know how the wheel turns, that there is a transparency in how business works. Having been in that situation and having tried to navigate that situation and be met with red tape, blocks, shuffled from department to department with an exaggerated and overcomplicated process in order to gain information or basic requests, I would say, is it a corporate structure that befits everybody, or is it a corporate structure that befits those at the top of the pyramid? We know how the wheel turns, Zano, but it doesn't turn in everybody's favour.
Zano will respond. She stands up and...
Middle finger.
Well, there was no need for that.
No, that was just Steph.
Among worlds.
That wasn't TJ. He's
I was
not
going to say,
that
that's...
No, TJ's not that stupid. Steph is.
You're right. I know how the wheel turns. Which is why I wish to bring it to the Starfinder Society. And yes, bad corporations can make sure that, people at the top get paid more. It's kind of what businesses are like, or why people in power are paid more to do more of the thinking, or more of the leading potential of organizations and businesses. But isn't that what's happening here? Lwazi sits there collecting this money that they say is for future endeavors and future First Seekers, but they can take from it whenever they want, and they sit there in a nice cozy office while you all go out and don't get paid to collect it for them. Isn't that the same wheel? But it is broken. So why don't we fix that wheel? Sits down.
I'm doing it again. Rebuttal.
Okay. We'll keep this as part of the same thing.
Yeah. Thank you for avoiding my question. But also, on the back of that then, are we not just trading a broken wheel for another? Because Dynatech is broken.
But I'm not coming across from Dynatech.
Oh,
I'm coming across from Dynatech, but I'm not coming across as Dynatech.
No, but you are coming with the promise of Dynatech funding and Dynatech resources and Dynatech style infrastructure. Now, if the Dynatech style and model is, as we know, inherently bad, as we're seeing that it is, I mean, mercury and lead in the clothing, only to be replaced with illegally gained Decimar silk? I mean, it's just cover-up after cover-up. Is that what we can expect from you as the First Seeker? More cover-up. You seem to be on this lovely smear campaign against Lwazi, as was in your right.
She
but
puts
I've
her
yet to
hand
hear...
up.
Oh.
I need to get the right words.
You say you want pay. I understand that my race is not
I must
yet
ask the
recognised,
electoral
but
candidate.
I have not been paid for the
Your
mission
pod
that
is
you sent me on.
silenced.
Oh.
I must protest. I have allowed this entity to ask questions. However, while their race and their life forms are still within question, and we hope to get them into the pact, I cannot have them. Surely it is not right to have people not recognised asking questions in this debate when it is against the rules.
Rich.
The electoral candidate, electoral speaker, I must unfortunately agree with the candidate Zano. That question will be debunked and taken from record. TJ Squeakerson of Orion's Hope is unfortunately not recognised as a full member of the Pact and therefore cannot partake in this debate system. Zan looks directly at you. And
I'm gonna blow her a kiss.
You want to go next, mate?
Sure. I'll.
as Roos,
Roos will step up.
we recognise Roos Pitt of the Orion's Hope.
I have a question for John, and I would like him to
14
elaborate.
inches around.
And I would like him to elaborate on his first statement. Now, I'm just a 6'5" anthropomorphic chicken with an insight into the fundamental laws of the universe. But as a single parent, I feel the weight of that universe on my shoulders.
For fuck's sake. Yeah.
What can the Starfinder Society offer to those in my position? And I would like you to elaborate on how you would help the younger generations get involved in extracurricular activities with the Starfinders and keep them out of trouble. More specifically, petty theft and vandalism.
Jesus Christ.
Is that John?
Okay. Congratulations on becoming a new parent. It is wonderful. I have never, I'm afraid, had the time to have children or love life. My love has been to the Starfinder Society. We often see with crews relationships form, and with that, children and offspring and new families and adoptions. We see it all the time, and a lot of the time we see that those members of the Starfinder Society either retire from the adventuring life to settle down with what funds they may have, or go into more secure lines of financial work. It is a good question. I would ideally not like to lose so many good Starfinders, and maybe there is a way that we could create some kind of system in which there is childcare, but the problem is that Starfinder missions can go away for many months to years at a time. I think that it would be on your responsibility as to whether or not you would take your child with you.
It's on you,
Bruce is
man.
taking notes.
However, you have to also look at the detriment to then also remaining a Starfinder and leaving your child for so long. I'm afraid I could not offer much experience on this, but we could certainly look into it.
John.
As Kaz.
Yes,
We recognise Kaz Upper of the Orion's Hope crew.
This question is for Zano. You've been found to have been using what some might call a dirty trick, and whilst not against the rules, using external speakers to bolster your own applause during the candidate introduction yesterday leaves a foul taste in some mouths here. What do you think that says about your faith in the Starfinders if you can't trust them to vote for you and back for you in the first place?
She stands up. Sorry. They stand up. How would they say this? I agree. It has probably shaken my candidacy somewhat, and yes, I did do it. I was worried that people like Luwazi and Captain Solias had such a decent online presence, or I found almost fanship here within the Starfinder Society, that I couldn't rely on corporate funding or a natural charisma to aid me in my opening speeches. I was scared, and I faltered. Some people are like, owning it. Like, well done. There's a roll.
Oh, they're wrong end.
Any other questions?
Apparently I can't. So.
No, not from me.
Not from me.
Most of answer. Yeah.
Okay. There are a few other questions that are thrown out throughout the day. Things like, what are the greatest threats to the Starfinder society, and how do you intend to deal with protecting our way of life, which you've guys sort of asked as well. And again, it comes round, and people say, different things like, Valkyrian will say things like, devils, demons, and things that are true evil, and we need to fight with the Ionian god fleets and church cathedral ships, and it goes on about
Military!
that. Yeah, it's very much a...
The Court Emperor?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, the Ionian fleets are cathedral ships. They literally are church ships that go round with their, like, Knights of Galarian, which are the, like, soldiers they have in red power armor, the Space Marines of the Starfinder universe. And so they say that. Zan, the piracy of the head of the Starfinder Society. Olsen Salias is like, underwater creatures. If I have to be First Seeker, he doesn't know what to do. John is like, he would say, dwindling numbers, and go from there. I will give them all certain caps to it. We recognise
This is an Ifrit standing up.
an Ifrit.
So it's a fire person. This is to Captain Salias. Right. Not all of us can go underwater.
But that is,
Your direction is very water-based. Are you going to lose half the society who cannot breathe or cannot go near water?
That is why you have ships and vehicles. I cannot breathe underwater either.
That's it.
he answers that one pretty quickly. Next one would be like, what will the society's priorities be when it comes to handing over what we find while out on missions? How will we know if we can keep what we find or if it has to be handed over? And Luwazi is like, it is always a choice unless it is something we think is potentially dangerous. That has always been the way, and that's why the Archive Cortex and the Historia units will always... We will compensate you accordingly. That is what the pot is for. Zan? Piracy from the top of the chain and lies from, all the kind of standard shit. You will... Yes, there will be an aspect of handing over things, but you will also be paid and compensated on a regular basis, not just when you find them. Valkyrian is... They don't say much about funding. They say we will use the Starfinder pot to help train and build up forces so that we can act as a frontline and a vanguard for other forces to make sure that we are at the forefront, like Starfinders normally are. John is...
We need to...
I'm not going to harp here. But he needs to... Essentially, it is already a thing that's in play, and yes, we do have to take things like data and star charts, and he would like to see more chartered space travel, not just going out to find things, to try and get people like learning the ropes, but also like about piloting starship stuff, and that could be a great training asset to new recruits. And it's about selling the data of star charts and stuff like that, which is something they already do, but he wants to increase on that one. So it's like small numbers, but lots of them. Salias wants to plunder the depths of any ocean because he truly believes that the oceans is where everything has not been explored, and that's where all the treasure is.
Mostly true.
Yep.
What will you bring to the society that will keep the core values of the society? You've asked that pretty much. What policies would you enact to help grow the society in structure and security? Zan, their corporate knowledge and background. John wants to build spires, kind of been covered by things already. Right now, people are free to take on missions as they see fit. With that, we can become widespread and far between at times. What would you do to help those who are out in the fringes of the known galaxy to support and help them? Valkyrian takes that one and is like, as a military force, we can make sure we've got outposts and forward operating bases throughout the galaxy. A clear chain of communication and supply can make sure the very echelons of our units are always supplied. Very military answer. And he's like on it with that one. Luwazi is more of a, we have to let you do you. When we travel to the vast and into the unknown, we don't know how far it's traveling from drift beacon to drift beacon is going to take us, and it is hard to offer support there. But that is kind of what the Starfinder Society has been all about, is exploring and knowing that you are doing something dangerous while still being an adventurer. Yes, we can lose crews for years at a time, and the Sunrise Maiden is a perfect example of this, but we don't have the funding to be able to put in structures or put in new places to support people, because the galaxy is endless. It would just be lost money. Zan, corporate funding and all of the above. John wants to build Lorespire complexes, and we start repeating the same answers again and again and again, which brings us to the end of the day, when the electoral speaker, I would like to thank everyone for their questions today and for getting to know the candidates and for bringing about your concerns and your worries for the Starfinder Society. As of tonight, you will be able to vote via your own data pads. It will be open to all members of the Starfinder Society throughout the galaxy. Please think hard on what you have heard here today and make your choice wisely. With that, we need to make some dice rolls. So, I'm going to do one more diplomacy check across the board for each of them, because of the final questions throughout the rest of the day. I'm going to start with Luazi.
Come on.
It's a 9.
Come on, see.
Valkyria. 15. Zano.
That flew.
3.
That's kind of almost as good as it's going to
Yeah.
John.
Come on.
Come on, John.
17.
Yes,
Oh,
John.
yes,
Come
good.
on, John.
Captain Olsen, Solias. Natural 1. He really didn't stand a chance
That
today.
tracks.
He really struggled. Okay. Now I need to work out the caps for each one, after everything that's been said as we've gone across the board.
Oh. Put in the comments who you think's gonna win.
John.
John! I don't know who think's actually gonna win.
No.
I think we've done pretty well.
Yeah. Considering that we can't see a lot of what's going on.
True.
it's-
True. But we still need to run those D100s, don't we?
Mm,
Yes, we do.
mm.
So,
Oh no.
oh no.
Yeah, that face.
Oh, she.
Oh.
I don't like it.
Intrigue.
Well,
Well.
who would we like to win if it wasn't Xano?
Well, clearly
If it
not
wasn't
Xano.
Xano.
Well, yes, that's what I mean. If it's not
I
Xano,
mean,
like, who would we want to win?
Luazi,
I mean,
probably.
Like, keep
Honestly,
Luazi in position.
I came into this and you're like, oh, sweet John. I'm like, kind of like, John's actually got a really
John's
sturdy
actually
platform.
pretty good as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I like his ideas, but I feel like it's quite limited. You know, it's like,
Yeah, but I'm kind of
get some more
also
people in.
like, do you know what? I think if he assembled the right cabinet,
Yeah.
he'd be all
And his
right.
board of
You recruited
directors.
the right
Yeah.
DBS checks. Comes with recruitment.
Okay.
He's fairly level-headed.
Bear in mind they currently already have certain voters in their pocket.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Would you like me to roll the D100s open, or you wanting to do it? And we go around. There is 5 to roll, so we could do 1 each.
Still one
I
each.
think we do one each.
Yeah.
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 I will roll Zans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that's
about
fair.
right.
Shall we start with that?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get that
Yeah.
out
So
of the
we
way.
got a nice
Yeah,
level.
we
We know what
gotta
we're playing with, you know.
One.
I've already used up the one.
Manifest. Okay, let's call it 4.
Oh,
4.
okay. You call him
No,
4?
4.
I
I'm gonna
think.
go with a
I
12.
think 17.
22.
That's
Okay,
good.
That's very good. That's good.
Yes. Now we just need everyone else.
Everyone else
Well,
do
that's
like
you.
90s,
At least
80s.
80s.
Yeah.
Two shit diamonds.
2 shit diamonds, man.
2 shit done.
Oh. Shit diamonds.
I know for podcasters, this is like a lot of pauses in talking, but this has been leading up to this for a
Important,
while.
yeah.
So I am just making sure that I've got all the maths written down,
Yeah.
so that I can explain it after we go through the rolls.
Okay.
I'm just
Should
writing.
we roll these blind and he just chooses who it's for?
No, I will state
Oh,
a
you're
candidate
gonna
and you
name.
can pick
Okay.
who's
Okay.
rolling.
Okay.
So, cap on Zan is currently that. Their roll from last time is that, plus that.
I think it's like 50. I think that's what our cap is.
Oh.
I don't think it's 100. I think
No,
it's
no.
50.
We've done enough to kind of knock
I need
it
a
down
calculator.
into pegs. It's on your phone.
It's what? It's in my hand. Thanks.
You're welcome.
The
This,
podcast listeners, I picked up my phone.
What's
this
your
entity
sum?
will just tell you that.
Summon. Sorry, summed.
Summed. Pre-summed.
Fucking Christ. It all comes down to that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Who's next?
Okay. So they get to keep their numbers from last time. But obviously the caps have now changed. So depending on the cap, depends on what they get to add to their previous numbers. Shall we start with Captain Olsen Solias? Who wants it?
Who wants it?
Who fucking wants it?
Who wants it?
I love some.
I'll do it. Someone's got to do it. 27.
Checks.
Yeah.
Tracks.
It checks.
Yeah. You had a bad day. That was a bad miss.
It's a bit more than Xano.
Yeah.
It did go at the lonely bacteria.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Not good, yeah.
Okay. 27 added to theirs. Valkyrian! Who wants it?
Shall I? Be fair on that?
Yeah, yeah.
Crack
Well.
on, mate. Get it in there.
That's
Ooh.
very cocked on that one.
Which one?
That one's very cocked.
Shall I roll that again?
Yeah.
82.
Whoa!
Okay.
Damn. Guess we're
Some
joining
people
the army,
like the
lads.
military.
In the army.
Okay.
We're missing the music.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. Thank you very much.
That's alright.
In the army, you can polish cup and sneeze.
Sorry, let's just double check.
It's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't
It
it?
is a bit.
So, we've got
Sorry.
Olsen
Fucking
Solias
gay.
done. Xano is done. Valkyrian
It's done.
is
Done.
done.
John
I'm gonna
John.
roll well. I shouldn't
John
have
and
gone for one of
Luazi.
the others.
Yeah.
Who wants?
I'll take the next one. Who is it?
Odds, it's John. Evens, it's Luazi.
Pressure
Oh,
either
it's
way.
John.
Go on,
Come on,
send
John.
it. No, I can send it.
Is that like 2?
No.
That's a,
It's a 1.
No way!
that is an actual one.
No,
Give me
I-
100.
Actual 1.
I feel like whenever
is
people
it-
roll
It's 0, 0,
D100s,
and then a 1.
Yeah, that is a one.
Yeah. That's a
whenever
1.
anyone rolls D100s, they never get a 1.
No, and we've
or
had
100.
2.
Fucking bullshit.
No, John, no!
I feel awful.
It's not for you, Jen.
It's not for you, Jen.
You got a press stick.
Oh yeah, can I cred that?
We don't know the result of
Can I
it, to
credit?
be fair.
I will say you can credit. It's a dice roll.
Sorry, that was
Normally we
real
for a
wide.
D20, but I think this is
I
a.
think this is one.
Yeah.
We, yeah,
Jump ship
100%.
on the campaign.
Anything is
2.
better than that.
49.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Fucking 1.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
You might have found some Sid haters.
Okay. Luazi,
I don't
Come
like
on.
that I'm rolling.
Elsabo.
Come on.
I can roll it if you don't feel
No,
comfortable.
no, no,
No.
no, no.
Come on. We have backups.
52.
It's alright.
Do we want to?
We've got enough, haven't we?
I've got
It's a-
3.
Should we try
But the
it?
problem is we have to take the new one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, this is above
It
average.
is. It's better than she did last time.
Yeah. Should we keep it? Play it safe?
Zan rolled really low.
Yeah,
True.
so-
The only one who rolled high really
was
was
Valkyrian.
Valkyrian.
Yeah.
But depending on where he's capped,
Yeah.
it swings and roundabouts. So I think,
I think
yeah,
52
stick.
is alright.
Yeah.
Zan wins. Oh no, Vaxaran wins. Shit.
I got you these nice
What
new
would
hats with skulls on.
happen if Vaxaran... really high boots.
Are we the party?
So if Vaxaran wins,
We just leave.
So,
we create new society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as pods begin to leave, and you know this voting is done over the course of the next several hours and throughout the night, and you know tomorrow you'll know the results of the election.
85. I was curious
It
if
wouldn't
I
have, it wouldn't have
had...
No.
happened though.
I know.
It was
I
a different
know.
time.
It's
Yeah.
just if it did.
Yeah.
Do you want it now, or do you want it at the start of the next episode?
I mean, on a cliff. Well,
I don't know.
I think it's a
week.
cliffhanger either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to go for about 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
nip out quickly. To
Yeah?
salute. And
Okay,
I'll
we're
wait.
gonna take a quick.
In that time, then, am I okay to put out a post on H for Stokie?
Yeah.
If if Alex is going for a quick
Yeah.
waz. TJ is going to take a picture of the hall, and with like his little Histoki paw holding his Starfinder badge in front, and is going to caption an interesting day in the debates. This entity found some interesting things from all candidates. A surprisingly open and steady platform from John, compassion and clarity from Luazi, something from Solias, a military bent from Vaxaran, and fear and hypocrisy.
I'm not
from
even
Zano.
here. The fuck?
The Hostoki will remember.
Okay.
Would you like a diplomacy on that?
I would.
Natural 20!
Oh.
Oh, for a 36. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Diplomacy check.
I'm about to go fucking viral.
Roll a d100.
It's gonna be 59.
You can add 59 nice followers to your H for Histoki.
Nice.
And with that, as you have become more relevant and your particular emotive talk and your dismissal by Zan caused a cap change.
Ooh.
Starfinders paid attention to you.
Ooh.
I will allow you to roll a d20 and add it to somebody's if you influence it on that post.
Ooh. Let's do it. It's a natural 20.
Is it?
I'm not even kidding.
It is.
I
Who
mean,
gets it?
John or Luazi. I mean, it's got to be,
Who do we
right?
think's got the better shot at the moment?
Luazi probably on the basis of the
She's rolled
hundreds,
pretty fucking low consistently. John's rolled better.
but he
And
did
people
roll-
have been liking what
They
you're saying.
have.
Bearing in mind as well, so I will tell you the 2 rolls that you made each time. I'm not going to tell you the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, last time, Luazi rolled a 24, and John rolled a 42. This time, Luazi rolled a 52, and John rolled a 49.
It's close.
John does
As long as their
anyway.
cap is similar.
John,
John.
Make sure he's up on the cap.
We'll give it to John.
Plus 20. 2 John.
I can't believe that. 2 nat from going for a
Yeah.
1 on the
One of our
D100,
D100.
2 back-to-back nat 20s.
The universe, man.
Mad. I'm a witch!
Night falls on the Lorespire Complex, and nighttime in Absalom Station is still an electrical hum of lights. It is still a living city that is awake 24/7, so you have to steal the hours where you can. This has been an exciting day for the Starfinder Society because elections only come around every couple of years, but this one was called in because of a vote of no confidence. But not only that, a company for the first time almost has a stake in what's going on here, and it's now not only you that know that. You have been working against Dynatech from the very start of this campaign, and it's even led into the point where Lorespire themselves and the Historia units have said, help us. Over the past couple of days, you have watched as in quick succession, people have arrived at the station. 5 candidates have put themselves forwards and spoken passionately about what they think being a Starfinder means to them, while also how they would change the course of the galaxy's future. We've seen emotion run deep. During the debates, those emotions really made a difference. As you wake up the following day, there would be like a Lashunta envoy who maybe works as kind of like, not necessarily paparazzi for or a newsreader for the Starfinder Society, but maybe puts out little infosphere posts and stuff. And they are like, so we're here today, we are live, we are about to get the election results come through to all of our data pads. We are about to see who is the next First Seeker of the Starfinder Society. And they go around the campus, they're interviewing people, and some people are like, yeah, I really think that Zan's got a point and I would like to be paid rather than just go out and risk my life for maybe something. Other people are like, yeah, Lawasi's done us a solid. It is about patience, it is about time. Others, I love the Solaya show. I really think that maybe it's, and we see like all of these like people, but what we get is a key sense of trepidation and anxiety. Bip, 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 bip. Everybody's compad starts to ping.
Oh god.
Come on, number of votes.
Cut this with a knife.
Yeah.
The Starfinder Society would like to welcome John as its new First Seeker.
Awesome.
Get in there, boy.
Sweet.
John!
How close were the votes?
Oh,
So,
we've got to fucking know.
John,
that's obviously where we're going to end the episode.
Whoa!
Fucking
Woo! John!
And I will talk about the votes as it is now, which I think would be great extra content if we were to do a Patreon, but we're not. 'Cause we're not there
You
yet.
fucking smashed it.
So,
Fucking hell.
after the end of the first speeches, Lorespire was capped at 75 because of their diplomacy rolls and the DCs that were set just off those ones there and what was said. Rolling a nat 1 causes you to drop not just minus 25, but minus 50.
Wow.
A nat 20
Same
plus
way.
50 the other way. Everything else comes down to the DC. John can only go up plus 25, down 25, unless he rolls a nat 20 or a nat 1. Because his modifier is a plus 4.
Oh, John! Oh, he did
He
so
still
well.
made it as
He
well.
did so well.
It's a plus, not a negative. That's
So-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. So, based off what we had to begin with, so everybody was capped, and it was Lorespire at 75, Valkyrian at 75, Zan was capped at 50, simply because of that nat 1.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she fucking smashed it.
Yeah.
John, nat 20, capped at 100.
Nice.
And they all started at 50, and then
Yeah.
it was like things changed and went through it. Captain Olsen Solias was also capped at 100 because he rolled really, really high. Then we rolled, obviously, those dice. Everybody got their max. So 24, 19, 37, 42, 32 as we go down it. So currently in the lead was John. And it was like, all right, cool, sweet. And then we went into this set of debates. And so looking at the caps, obviously, Lawasi capped at 75, Valkyrian capped at what was originally 100, but after the post, because things that altered the DCs and the candidates, sorry, that's what came into it here. So dropped info about the speakers onto the infosphere. That dropped Lawasi by 25.
You mean Xano?
Yes, sorry, even says dropped. Info about the speakers on the 25 Xano. Majority of influencers, 3 out of 4 have been persuaded not to actively push Xan. No cap change either way. Put up a video of Lynch disregarding the Histoki as lower life forms, minus 25 to the cap of Xano.
That worked.
Lynch removed from making any more posts by Xano. To stop the change or any more risk the next day. So,
Take your
She
fucking
got
ass
way
on loaf,
pissed.
bitch.
so as we started this, Lawasi was capped at 75, Valkyrian at 75, Xan was then capped at 50 to begin with, John was capped at 100, and Captain Solias was capped at 100, which I was sort of like, oh, this could, oh dear,
Oh, no.
this could be a whole new direction.
Under the sea.
So, obviously, some clientele had many questions. You know, some went to everyone, some went to just a few. And what we saw across Lawasi's, who was capped at 75, after the first question went up by 25, then she would have gone up by 50, but she'd already maxed out at 100. She would have then gone up by 50 again because of her rolls, but then was capped at 100. She then would have gone up by 25, so was still capped at 100. Another 25 was capped at 100. Another 25 was capped at 100. So it could only pick up a maximum of 100 followers, but it would have been the max for her. Obviously, she then picked up 52 on top of her 24 to put her at a total of 80. Valkyrian, who started off capped at 75, went up by 25. Then was a 0, so would have stayed the same. Then went down by 25. Then went down by 50.
Ooh.
Then went up by 25. Then went down by 25. Then went up by
He had
25.
a day.
Capped at 50. And it was very much that. So he had 19 before, plus 50, which would have made it 69. So
Nice.
Yay.
he ended on he ended on 69.
Nice.
Xano. I might leave her till the end.
Yeah, do it.
John
John.
started at 100. Plus 0. Because he rolled trash. But his plus 1 modifier kept it above the DC. Plus 25. Capped at 100. Plus 25. Capped at 100. Plus 0. Capped at 100. Plus 25. Still at 100. Plus 0. Plus 25. The cap stayed at 100 because of his solid answers the entire way through. And he just rolled rocks the entire way through.
Good
It was like
John.
18, 19, 18, 13, and stuff like that. It was like, okay, so that's where the zeros came in. So no cap change. He had started in 42, got the 49, which took him up to 91, so he was already in the winner's position, plus that 20, but took him to his cap of 100. So he technically ended on the 100,
Good boy, John.
which was absolutely awesome. Solias started at 100 for his cap, plus 50 to begin with, then went down by 25, plus 50 again because he rolled another nat 20,
Oh.
down by 50, rolled a nat 1 straight after it,
Oh.
plus 0, plus 25, minus 50 with another nat 1. He ended on 32.
Oh.
That's a bad miss.
That's a bad miss.
Xano, who was capped at 50, started with a plus 50.
Oh.
Instantly got that nat 20.
Oh.
Just like bang, straight in there.
Money.
Plus 25. Plus 0. Minus 50 with a nat 1.
Ooh.
Plus 0. Minus 25 because of the emotive outburst. Plus 0, plus 0. Actually, it could have been the other way around because there's another minus 25 and then another minus 25, which ended up being capped at 25.
Nice.
Simply down to your outburst,
Yes.
the things you asked, and also Propacious Creel's questions in there as well.
We should make friends with him.
They're gone. Don't worry about it.
Damn it.
They ended on a total of 59.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Going there.
What a ride.
Yeah.
As of this new day, John
Is
of Absalom Station
the first seeker.
is now the first seeker of the Starfinder
Oh my
Society.
god.
Wow. We
John
did it,
the
guys.
doorman.
This is either a great or a terrible thing.
That's great thing.
I think
Good question.
It's the best we could have hoped
it's the
for.
best. And
He'll
I think,
be good.
I think in Linda's apartment, TJ's just going to touch Ida's helmet and go, we did it. We did it.
And I think that's where we leave this episode. Thank you so much, everybody out there who's been watching on Twitch. Please use that Prime sub if you've got it. That'd be awesome. We would greatly appreciate it. To those of you watching on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does make a difference. If you come across from the podcast, please, again, if you've got Amazon Prime and you're not already on Twitch, just go across, sub up. It helps us out loads, and we can carry on doing this show and hopefully, you know, grow and do some more. Same, go across to YouTube, hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much to everyone. As tomorrow, or today as it is, it's a new dawn.
It's just-
And we
It's a new John.
will be back next week. We should fucking Starfinder! Just dudes being dudes! Let's go suck each other off.
Yay!
Right.
Finally.
Thank you very much, guys. May those dice gods be ever in your favour. We love you. Have a fantastic week.
Yeah.
See you around.
See you around.
Bye.